That's right. Back on the air again. which is what we love to do, and talk about the Auburn Tigers basketball performances, such as they are. They're really just more displays of majesty, is how it kind of works these days. Hey, what's up? As you know from the Chiron on the screen, my name is Jay Tate. I am publisher / Commodore at auburnsports.com, a place that you know well because you probably have been there, or you've heard of it, or you watch the show and you're just familiar with it, or, hey, is my NBA Jam on? I don't think it is. One thing I forgot, I got to put it on the checklist, yo. What a day of basketball. Got up and watched the Villanova-Georgetown game today. And then it was time to see the featured game of the day for the whole country. I'm not even worried about NFL. The Auburn Tigers against the Kentucky Wildcats. A game that had some mischief. Mean old Walker Kessler knocking Severe Wheeler out of the game twice. With 2 legal plays, I might add. And a big-time W for the Auburn Tigers. We got Super Chats coming in left and right. I know Cleveland Brown had one for us. Legend. I know Pocket Watch had one. Legend. Corey had one. Our main man, legendary guy from Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to get through these here in a minute. We also got some of our other luminaries in the house, including AU Taxman. I see that Sir D. Lucky is in the house as well, checking in from beautiful, scenic Madison, Alabama. Corey Dub been drinking this Russell's Reserve 10-year. I got something special to drink tonight because I've been waiting on this one. I thought if were Auburn to beat Kentucky, some of you would say when Auburn would beat Kentucky, we would drink some of the most delicious the delicious bourbon that Kentucky has to offer as a way of our pirate ship pulling alongside theirs and us plundering their supply. Tonight we will drink Lux Row Double Barrel 12-year. This is a very difficult bourbon to find. I have been led to believe that one of the only places you can find this is at the Lux Row Distillery gift shop in Bardstown, Kentucky. Hey, you Taxman, you can double check me on this. Can we fact check that? All right, you guys get on that if you can, and we're gonna knock the this bad boy. Actually, we're not gonna knock the bottom out, but we're gonna sip on it for sure. Corey G says he's drinking Screwball peanut butter whiskey. My man, there's something I love about that. Let's bounce over to our main page so we can kind of take in where the Auburn Tigers stand. And this one, I've got the box score over there. I can barely read it. My eyes don't work very well. SEC standings updated as of the end of this game. There are games to be played tonight, but Florida beat Vanderbilt earlier to flip that around just a little bit below Auburn. So Auburn is 2 up on Kentucky, and I don't really know how to calculate where Auburn is related to Texas A&M since they only have 1 loss, but you know they're behind. Let me go ahead and pour some of this Lux Row 12-year double barrel. I need to try first. I can hear that. I should have put that right up to them. Ooh, it's got a heavy top too. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. TNC Adventures says, my favorite thing about beating Kentucky is the excuses. Bottoms up, you guys. Let's drink some of Kentucky's best. Ooh. That's good. I like that. I taste leather, pine. Yeah, shoe leather, specifically hush puppy. I think I taste some bark, some coriander, some cooking sugar, a little bit of cherry. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. It tastes like bourbon. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's a little bit hot. I might put a little bit of water in that bad boy when I drink it up. What about that W, huh? Holy cow. You know, you're thinking when you go into this, you're like, all right, if they win the game, that would be awesome. And then they really just kind of took out Kentucky. And what you're going to hear a lot is if you guys, I have a lot of friends that are UK people. JBDC Elite was texting me during the game full of excuses, as you expected. They were without Ty Washington for a lot of that game. And the truth is that Ty was messing up Wendell. We need to talk about that at some point. But when Ty goes out, it changes the whole dynamic for Wendell. And oh my goodness gracious, Mobile alum drops one. We've had super chats from all the luminaries today, many of them anyway. And Mobile alum jumps in with a come back here. Mobile alum. By the way, I will say this: last time you graciously super chatted, I was telling you we're going to work on a Mobile event. I have caught up with J-Head, and we are aimed to do something very soon, possibly next weekend. I just got to make sure. I talked to Jan, and she's Gucci with it at Voodoo, and I talked to J-Head, and he's Gucci with it. So we're just going to make sure everything's good, and I don't have anything I'm going to miss. Because I know the Oklahoma game next weekend is kind of early. It's like 1 o'clock or whatever. But anyway, Mobile alum says, War Damn JG, amazing game. So please tell me, for the love of God, we'll be number one Monday. Yeah, I definitely believe so. Auburn was only 4 points, which if you look at it from a percentage perspective is like 0.002% off of Gonzaga's tally. And the fact that they beat Kentucky, who is a top 10 team or whatever, officially top 12, whatever. And then Gonzaga beat San Francisco. I mean, who's actually a pretty good team, but they're not like Kentucky. They'll get, all they need is 5 points, and that'll be plenty. They already had more first place votes. So that's what we're looking at there. I definitely think this is going to push Auburn to number one. And I mean, I was kind of poo-pooing the idea on the bunker and on Twitter the other day because I just think that I thought that the outrage over not being number one was kind of stupid. I thought it was because I'm like, this team is awesome. This team's going to be teabagging people for the next 2.5 months. Like, why are you worried about the ranking? But now, talking to BP about it, like, I kind of get it. It would be big for the program to say, hey, we ranked number one. We got ranked number one. So there is value there, Mobile alum, and I think this is the week when you're going to be able to enjoy that and say, my team is numero uno. You just don't want to talk about that too much to, like, let's say Duke fans or whatever, because they're going to be like, no shit, we've been number one like a million times. But, hey, you got to do it once to get in, you know? That's what I always say. That's what I always tell Denton. All right, let's work our way through here. We got some serious super chats from some seriously awesome folks. Pocket Watch jumps on before I was even on the air. War Damn Eagle as I walk to Toomers. Look at that. He's going mobile with us. We love it. SSim008 is in the house as well, saying big dub. We love him, of course. Corey Green, I mentioned in the chat. He's our hat man. He got he was the renegade who was able to win the Harsin hat he threw up to me. Well, he flew up to a bunch of media people, but I happened to get one. Dangerous hats. Dangerous. It's so dangerous he put it in a closed case to make sure it didn't do any damage. Also, super chat from the legendary Cleveland Brown. Saying War Damn Eagle number one rank and coming for AU. Titans win next. As you know, I feel very strongly about the Titans beating the hated Cincinnati Bengals today because when that happens, that means Brian Stolze is going to be on the hook for a bomb at Voodoo next week. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Let's see. Corey Dub again, our legendary poster and just stud in the capital city of Montgomery, Alabama. Says, I love Bruce. He loves you back, brother. He loves all y'all back. I promise he's got a lot of love in his heart for all y'all. AU Law 20 jumping in. What's up, man? FAEO 1 to celebrate the AU win. That is secret terminology for a special wood version of the Maker's Mark, which we love. Thanks for all you do, JG. That sounds like a great choice, AU Law 20, and thank you for your super chat, sir. Or ma'am. I should be careful with that. Sam H jumps in. Pearlville is a great thing now. Sam, you got to be careful. I don't know if you're listening to the postgame show, but BP said very clearly he does not want it called Pearlville. He wants it called Jungle City as a reference, as a tip of the hat to the jungle. Because it's a student thing, and he wants the students to get all the credit. So, unless you want to defy the head coach, you shall refer to it as Jungle City. Did we get anything on the Lux Row? Not yet. What? Can you just call the distiller? I have to do it myself. I have to do everything myself around here. It's crazy. No, just I got it. Fat Crack in the house. Says, JG, let's go. Lord Bruce and his knights brought home the dub. Boom is my Gus voice. Come here. Where am I? I need these. But where are my sound effects, yo? There we go. A little bit loud there. Sorry, folks. You deserve that, fat crack. You deserved a good laugh for that, and I appreciate that. Still been trying to hook up with you in the war zone. Haven't been able to find you lately. BP in the house says my pregame tips were spot on. You were going to meet, aren't you going to meet a homegirl, Awesome Lady, after the game? I'm not saying like anything shady's going on. I'm saying Awesome Lady said like a month ago she wanted to meet people after the game. And I know you'd express some interest. I need to put some water in that. Some interest in that. Let's see. Mobile Lem said she wants to retire in Pearlville. To be around her people. I get it. McLevin jumps in with a great picture there of Chuck Barkley eating the pizza when he was a student at Auburn. Kessler is an oak tree. What a game. War Damn Eagle. An oak tree waving in the wind because he is very active with his hands, right? Texas AU Tiger says Pearlville at Jungle City. So you get both. You get two for the price of one there. I get that. Appreciate you, McLovin. What an absolute legend you are. Caddy Wumpus in the house. Pearl said it. Call it Jungle City. Line up, fall in. Hornatius in the house as well. My man. Carlton says, my goodness, your hair is sexy. I'll do what I can. Willboy AU in the house as well. First strain of the year for me. I've been slacking. Huge win today. War Damn Eagle. Willboy has been a football staple. I'm glad to see you over here on the basketball side. It's incredible. It's incredible to have you there. Goose Flat asks, JGT, in your opinion, how does this team stack up against the Final Four team for 4 years ago? Maybe we should kind of dive in on that a little bit later. I think this team is a little different in the way that it operates. Because I thought the absolute strength of that team, and there were a lot of good players on the 19 team, but I thought the strength was always going to be Jared and Bryce. And this team, I think, is a little different. I honestly believe that there's four guys that are stars all the time, and you can kind of interchange them, and I didn't necessarily feel that way about the 19 team. Still really good, both of them. Ethan M. says he's drinking E.H. Taylor. I think that's what you mean by that, and that's a really, really good choice if you are drinking that. Let's see what else we got. Mobile alum, of course. What a legend. CDF, my main man from Houston, Texas. We know him colloquially here. I use the word colloquial in my game. Have you called Lux Row yet? I don't want to talk to the gift shop. We need it from the actual master distiller. Do we have a name on here? Does anybody have a name? Tell me you want to talk to the distiller. We need an answer. Seriously, get on that. These kids, I don't know. Our main man, Duff Diver, says Pearl Arena. He's ready to have the name changed of the arena. I've been hearing a lot of that, and I stand by it. I really do. I mean, I don't think that you need to know anything else. I mean, I thought it might have been Hyundai Arena by now, but if we want to call it Pearl Arena, that's fine. Cody says, Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio. I do have to mention that Matt Jones, who is himself an absolute legend in the state of Kentucky, is a fellow Transylvania University graduate like me. I've only been on a show once, and he made an offhanded comment to a guy when I came on the show that said, geez, he wasn't very enthusiastic today. It's almost like somebody died. Ironically, I was at my granddad's funeral. That's a true story. I'd love to come back on sometime. Kind of chat it up with a fellow Transy graduate. Let me work my way back through. Caddy Wumpus, who I mentioned earlier, he has a super chat. $5 to the neighborhood Jesse Newell hitman.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Jesse Newell, of course, I don't know which paper he works for, but he covers Kansas, and he was the one that had Auburn ranked, I think, 8 or 9. He says he does that because he leans on Ken Palm a lot, and Ken Palm, I think, had Auburn 8 or 9, so he was just kind of going with it. I believe at last viewing, the Auburn Tigers are up to 4 in Ken Palm. So I would not be surprised to see Jesse put Auburn at 4th, which right there would be almost enough votes to swing it for Auburn and get them to number 1. Blake D in the house, one of our football friends, also comes over for basketball as well. Says, War Damn Eagle, shout out to the entire Auburn family making history this week and established dominance in the SEC. Much love, family. You the best, JG. Glad to have you, Blake, around cheering us on and being part of that. Nick the pipe layer. No, it's pipe layer Nick, remember? They thought you sounded more menacing as pipe layer Nick. Says, pop that number 1 cherry. Pipe layer Nick. We just got a big one. My man Jay. I know this guy. This is Bourbon Fund donation. My man. Jay has been a supporter of what we do behind the scenes for many years. And to you, my man. That wasn't a big enough taste. Oh, yeah, we can do this. We can do the what is it? The ASDM? Is that what it's called? There we go. Oh, yeah. You could hear that pour. Down the hatch, guys. I'm going to put a little bit of water in this bad boy now. Just trying to cool it off a little bit. Jay, I appreciate you, man. You're an absolute legend. You know that. I tell you that. I'll tell that to anybody who asks me. Man, what an absolute stud. Let me get back to where I was here before Jay just blew me away. Also, Mobile alum. Unbelievable today. Mobile alum, here's another one from her. Says, just heard Bruce announce Sonny Smith will get a banner in the arena. Yes, he did say that on his post game. He refused ASMR. Thank you guys. You knew what it was. Oh yeah. This is good because Joe Champy's getting one tomorrow at the girls' game against Alabama, which he deserves very much. Was an incredible coach for a long, long time. Got Auburn to 3 consecutive Final Fours, and is just an all-around stud. We got a huge one coming in from Warwick as well, one of our favorite folks. Good people, for sure. I was just on that thought. And then BP on his postgame announced at the top of the show that Sonny was going to be getting one that they're going to unveil at the Oklahoma game next weekend. So this is awesome. 2 of the great coaches, both of whom made fun of me 2 weeks ago. It was wonderful to be there and have that happen when Joe said, "Is that a wig?" To which Sonny answered and said, "Did your barber die?" I love hanging out with those guys. If they're in the arena, like during practice, I'm definitely going to sit with them. Mobile alum wants to know, talking about the trip down to Mobile, are you bringing the entire bunk crew with you? We want Stoltzy. I have not gotten that far with it yet. So we may have to wait a little bit if we're going to get serious about getting Stoltz. We probably can get Stoltz. Brian's a push. Cristiano is probably a no. I'm just telling you because he's got things going on. Ravine, one of the all-time legends, jumping in as well. Always part of the show. Says, War Eagle, what a way to keep our composure today. Great point. Auburn had some trouble there, right? First 5 minutes, 7 minutes, turnover, giving Kentucky easy buckets in transition, and then kind of dug their way back, pebble by pebble, there late in the first half, and then the second half was just a totally different deal. Getting another W, and we still haven't seen us play to our fullest potential. We're going like this, upward trend, to the moon. Keep it classy, Commodore. Okay, drink up. To you, my man. Oh, it's delicious. Did need to get some water in that bad boy. Carlton says, JGT, you need to get Allie on the drain today. We could probably get Allie on the drain, right? I think we would do that. Daniel P. jumps in. Daniel P., also known as Metal Fan on the bunker, says, you already know, Ward M. Eagle, best MF team in the country. I think everybody in this chat agrees. Except for Jesse, if you're out there, Jesse, which you're probably not because Kansas has a game today. Whatever. Hornatius says 1 a.m. beaches. He's trying to get me to 1 a.m. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's a long time from now. Mobile alum says entire Auburn sports crew has to come to Mobile next week. She has thrown down the gauntlet and said, here's what we got to do. I don't know if that can happen on a Friday night. I just don't know. But we would like to do it. We would love to do it. Everybody loves Mobile. Everybody loves hanging out with Jay Head. Thank you, young lady. You've been incredible. Somebody's talking about Luck. AU Taxman says Lux Row 12 Kentucky exclusive. It is a Kentucky exclusive. And he's not. What are y'all doing? AU Taxman, I knew I could rely on you, bro. I know you know this stuff. It's an exclusive. It's a freaking exclusive. You know who else is exclusive? JR. Yeah. He's an exclusive. He's exclusively badass. All right, this game today. Let's talk about this for a minute. Oh, do I have more super chats? I do. Hornatius jumps in with one as well. Will you please tell me the current targets Harsing is looking to pick up for the PWO? Hornatius, of course, got on the bunker and started a thread like that right in the middle of the game today, and he's making fun of the people that cannot get football off their minds long enough to enjoy a basketball game. And we have plenty, although we respect them all. We respect all opinions. Some people are just absolutely eat up with football, and nobody has a problem with that. Orek, as I mentioned earlier, one of the all-time greats. Bunker guy, brain drain guy, goes to the events we have in Birmingham, brings it with class, does the thing. I even told him some shit that I have not told anybody else in the bunker. That's how I feel about him. He says, I'm in Midtown at Dino's celebrating Yahweh. Pearl, dropping his wedding tackle on Tater's Wildcats, making a not-so-veiled reference to the fact that I am myself a UK graduate, class of 1998. I was at UK pursuing a second degree in psychology, and began working for the newspaper, and student newspaper, I should say. And, yeah, here I am. Like 5 million years later. No, actually, it's 24, 25, I guess. It's been a minute. Anyway, Warwick, appreciate you, bro. And the secrets I told you at the last one, I hope you keep those under your hat. Although I wouldn't know if you didn't, but I would just ask. Wade asks, which recruit was shirtless during the game? I think that was a football player. I think those were football players, but I'm not 100% sure. Because the basketball players that I know were there did not look like him. No, they did not. Let's see. Caddy says, LOL, JG took it to Al Green territory on that poor. My man. Cleveland Brown wants to know if Hunter is willing to chime in. That's an interesting idea. I know he was out hunting earlier today. But, I think it would be funny to have him because, he probably knows a little bit about basketball. Sorry, I need to type this out. I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm just not able. I know this is scintillating. All right. Text out to Hunter. We'll see how that goes. Hope he's around. Mobile Alum says, do you think this locks up the regular season for us? No. We need to talk about that as well. Spicy P says it was Derek Hall. Good call. I had a feeling it was a football player. I had it down to about 3. Didn't want to say which one I thought it was. In case I was wrong. And then I get in trouble. All right, so Cleveland Brown, we got that going, yo. And as far as Mobile Alum 91 is concerned, this is a great start, obviously, for the Auburn Tigers. They've won, 15 in a row, something like that? Yeah, that's what he said. He's in the woods, man. I knew. That's why I told him. He's in the woods out doing his thing, hunting his thing. Well, not his thing. He's hunting just traditional things. Just don't get ahead of yourself on the race, the SEC race, because there's still stuff to do, a lot of stuff to do. 7-0 start, wonderful start, as good as you can get. Yes, we don't even have to check that with our fact checkers. 7-0 is perfect out of 7. However, it ain't over yet, and you still have to deal. Somebody's going to get hurt, whether it's for a 1 game or a half or 5 games. Who knows? People get hurt. Let's see what he's got. Oh. I don't like that. It's kind of a bummer. That's an update on Christy Malzahn. We talked about it last week. I'm not trying to make it a thing, but I asked for prayers. I texted Gus last night to tell him, and he was very appreciative for it. I posted that on the bunker. But this message I just got about Christy is she's not doing great, guys. She's been in the hospital for a minute now. I don't know how many days. I don't know, 8 or 9 days. And she's got an infection is what they said on the UCF release. I don't know what that means exactly. I haven't really. It's not like I'm going to call Gus and go, "Hey man, tell me about your wife." Like I don't really do it that way. But she still needs a lot of prayers, guys. So those of you who are inclined, please continue or begin or whatever, because it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for her, and she's still struggling, and she still needs the prayers. I'm not trying to take the showdown, so we'll just compartmentalize that, and we'll move on. Sparrow Empire jumps in. Can we start an Allie fund today and buy her a nice dinner or something for her amazing efforts this weekend? I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and Allie just texted us, I think yesterday, me and B-Matt. Hey, Allie. Sorry about that. So I'm asking Allie if I can have her on the show. So we'll see what's up with her. She was on the show about a year ago, something like that. We should have her on more often. We love Allie. She started here, of course. Many of you guys remember when she was an intern with us. And she kind of, she did. She coordinated an effort that really kind of got a lot bigger than she probably expected to collect some money for the kids who were in the Jungle City last night and this morning. Lots of hot chocolate and hand warmers and pizza and stuff like that. And it was really a pretty remarkable effort by her and then the folks that were helping her. I know Pablo Escobar, was helping her among others to kind of do stuff with the money because Allie lives in suburban Atlanta. So she was kind of funneling the money to them, and then they were getting the stuff delivered, and it was a really nice thing. And then the extra money, because they couldn't spend all that money on hot chocolate or whatever, they actually made a donation, or she is making a donation to the Outlive, the Bruce Pearl Family Foundation's Outlive, which is pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Mobile Alum 1991 says we want to hear from Jay Head. Jay Head, of course, is our insider at auburnsports.com. And a friend of the site. He is totally plugged in with football. Don't necessarily have any conversations with him about basketball, though. So that might be interesting as well to kind of bounce that off him. He's a guy that you kind of, I don't necessarily just text him out of the blue, though. He's got a life that's kind of compartmentalized. Allie is game. So we may get Allie on the horn here in a sec. AU Taxman says, let's talk about. You just kind of leaving it on the edge there. Tony T with another good point. This is where it gets hard. Target officially on our back Monday at noon. Right. So Auburn becomes the number one team at that point. We assume, we figure. And at that point, as Tony T mentions, it goes to a situation where Auburn becomes the hunted to nearly everyone in the country, right? I don't know if it really matters to, like, say, Villanova or Gonzaga, but to a team like Missouri, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Georgia, it sure does. Auburn, of course, their next game is going to be Tuesday night, 7:30 tip at Missouri. Looks like Ken Palm's got that as a 15-point win for Auburn, at least projected. Though Alabama, I think, went over there a couple weeks ago and had some success at Missouri, but that's a different team with a different lineup, and they've got different kinds of problems. This Ken Palm data right here on the left is as of after the UK game, so this is completely updated. As you can see, the Kentucky final is on there. And Auburn remains number one in the country in shot blocking, which is not surprising. Although they didn't have a ton of blocks tonight. Some of these numbers that jump out to me, Auburn has the number 9 rated offense and the number 9 rated defense. I don't know that there's another team in the country that has 2 top 10s on offense and defense, although there may be. If it is, it's like 1. It may be Gonzaga, maybe. I don't know. But the Auburn Tigers, again, up to number 4 in the Ken Palm ranking, which I like. I don't really care that they're 4. It doesn't really matter. For what it's worth, ahead of Auburn would be number 1 Gonzaga, Baylor, and then Arizona. I have not watched 1 minute of Arizona basketball. Let's see. Baylor lost back-to-back games to Texas Tech and Oklahoma State before beating West Virginia midweek, and they've got they're at Oklahoma tonight. So we'll see what happens there. Auburn's kind of in a spot now where you pay attention to other teams that are outside of the SEC to kind of keep an eye out. These are teams that Auburn's going to have to mess with. We presume Sweet 16 and inside of that. And our friend, pipe layer Nick, his Purdue Boilermakers are number 9 in the latest Ken Palm poll, or current Ken Palm ranking system, I should say. They beat Illinois on MLK Day, which is a great game, double overtime, and they lost to Indiana. So on Thursday, I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off track there. Let's see what we got. Yes, Cattywampus says prayers for Christy. Absolutely, man. I was really hoping that she was going to be kind of out of the woods by now. And the fact that she's not is concerning. Definitely concerning. Mobile Alum jumps in as well with another super chat. Says, are there any War Report guys who might be able to be in Mobile next week? Those guys are nowhere near Mobile. Particularly Mike G, who lives on the other side of the country. And I don't know B Will very well or C Dub. I feel like I know Ike kind of, and I know Mike. I texted Mike G a good amount. Somebody was talking about the celebrity end tonight, and it was AU legend Julius Robinson. He goes by Julius now. It's correct. Doc Robinson, former wearer of number 50, played high school ball in Selma, Alabama, but also moonlighted during those summers in Riverside, California, and that was kind of how he got really big. How he got his reputation kind of ballooned up because he went out to L.A. and played in some summer leagues and was balling out because he's a baller, because that's what he is. And, yeah. Corey Dub says, I don't guess Derek Mason was the celebrity end today. Yeah, well, that's a whole different box of worms we got to deal with right there, huh? Derek Mason out. Haven't said a single word about that. Auburn hasn't. No one's acknowledged anything aside from the fact that Schmedding has been elevated to defensive coordinator. Jimmy Brumbaugh, the former Auburn Tiger who played here from 95 to 99, has been hired as the defensive line coach, and Christian Robinson, the former Florida linebackers coach and former Georgia Bulldog linebacker himself some years ago, has been hired as the linebackers coach. So a lot of changes coming on the defensive side of the ball, which some bunker people are very happy about and others not as much. Derek Mason, I thought, did a nice job of kind of shoring up the situation after Kevin Steele left. And they were solid this year, I would say. I think that's fair to say. I thought the run defense was good. Pass defense, not so good. And I thought that the three-man rush and the zone concepts didn't necessarily play super well at Auburn. And I think the way that they played so conservatively against Mississippi State, which is a game that they shouldn't have lost in a million years, and some of the other games, specifically the Iron Bowl, I think led some folks to kind of give up on him a little bit, and now he's going to bounce. The word is that he's going to go to Oklahoma State, and that hasn't been announced yet that I know of, so we'll just kind of see how that goes down. Okay, I'm caught up on the Super Chats. Now I want to get back here to this page, and then we're going to get Allie D on the horn, because we want to talk to Allie D, presumably about the money that she raised because she's a legend. Allie D. Wow, is that true? That's seen days ago. I gotta look this up. Hold on, guys. I don't talk to her as much, so I kind of have to. I can't tell if this is her phone number or is her Skype. Yeah, screw it. We're just gonna call her. Come on, Jay. Don't be that guy. I'm confused. I can't figure out what to do here. I wonder when the last time we talked to Allie was. All right, we're just gonna go with it. Hell with it. I hope this is you, Allie. Allie D.
Hello.
What's up, Allie D?
What's up, JG?
It's Jay, and it's your adoring fans on the Brain Drain are here.
God. I don't know if they're adoring, but
they demanded that you be on the show today.
I don't know why.
They want you because you're such a star. No, it's because you did such an incredible job raising that money for those kids, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I literally thought 24 hours ago it's just going to be $100 out of my pocket.
I know you did.
Maybe some booze and toilet paper. And it kind of disturbed my easy Friday night that I was going to have. But it's crazy. And I mean, it just shows the power of social media when done right.
Yeah, and you ended up.
It's pretty cool, right?
You guys ended up raising. I mean, can you give me a close estimate?
I can do a breakdown. I can't do that. I did fail math 3 times to Auburn, so I can't do the math off the top of my head. But the breakdown was $4,200 to supplies for the kids, I think we're about 800 to the Kentucky Cancer Foundation, and then we're about 7,700 to Bruce's AUT Live.
Wow.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money in 24 hours.
And tell me about donating to the UK cancer thing. How did that come up?
Yeah, someone had mentioned, I think at first people were a little skeptical. I'm like, should we be sending those kids money? And I just thought it was fun. I didn't think anything of it. But then as it started skyrocketing, and I knew we were not going to give $15,000 to kids camping out, someone had mentioned, donating to, someone had found this link of kind of the AUT version for Kentucky, similar. So I thought Bruce would really appreciate that. I had gotten wind that he had heard about, all that was going on, and they're super thankful and super grateful. And so I just thought the Kentucky family could use it too. And then as the game started, I was like, oh, well, maybe I jinxed it by giving them some money. But, it was really cool. And one of their board members reached out and was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
That's great.
So, yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, I can't believe our former intern is the one running hand on the wheel, yo.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second time, too. In 2020 of Thanksgiving, Auburn Twitter helped me raise, I think it was like $7,000 to donate to some of the local homeless shelters around to help out with during COVID when that was crazy and, with Thanksgiving going on. So I've done it before. This was overwhelming, beyond overwhelming, though. This is about double, and I think my Venmo thinks I'm like a scammer in the mob or something, having all these random people Venmo me.
I wonder about that a little bit, that they might shut you down.
My card got denied a few times last night trying to order $500 worth of pizza and $400 worth of Krispy Kreme. But we got some words from the kids, and they, obviously we couldn't get stuff to every single person, but the kids definitely, appreciated it, and they were sending photos of them front row, and that just made it worth it too, right? I mean, yeah, all the money could have gone to charity, but hell, if I was a student back in the day, JT, you knew I would have been out there camping for some booze and hand warmers. So, I'm glad that we were able to help them out, and, something that was really special.
Of course, we always get questions about your status, your relationship status, Allie. CDF super chatted and said, how's Allie with the D in the middle? No D in the middle. How is she still single?
Yeah, no, your girl is... I keep finding these Auburn guys, and they just keep letting me go, so I don't know what that's all about.
That's
Very
disappointing.
single. So if anyone has a son of 28 and above, please reach out. I am available.
Guys, seriously, no, don't do it. She's just being facetious, okay? Seriously.
No, please. If they're cute and they have a job and they enjoy Auburn, I will absolutely go on a date. So please send them my way.
Okay. Thanks, Allie. I was kind of hoping you'd get like a superstar instead of just, I don't know.
I'm working on it.
I know. You're going to find him. He's going to be awesome. Let me ask you this about the game. I know you're fired up. You love some Auburn Tigers, and you love seeing them beat the snot out of UK. I know that.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, I've met some of the Kentucky beat writers from back in the day, and they love to flash their peacock when it comes to basketball season, and they sure love to throw some jabs at Little Pearl when necessary. And, they had some jabs that, they're just doing this for Kentucky. So it's all good. So just let them know, you weren't special. You were just next. And I think Bruce really enjoyed being able to stomp on a few of them. So it's always nice. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like beating Alabama in football, when you are on a stride. But I think what Bruce has done is insane. I mean, we were there from the beginning, and it's hard to believe it's been so long already, but I can shit you not, when I was a freshman at Tony Barbie going, I think it was like 4-25, there was no way people would be camping out for basketball. I never saw it.
Never.
Just never in wildest dreams. So it's pretty crazy that in 10 years, the difference things can make.
Yeah. BP has been a revelation, and that's putting it lightly.
Yeah, I mean, and people, I think, when he first started, people thought he was cheeky and overcompensating and, doing what he had to do to build a program from the ground up, and that may have been, right? But I think what you see now is just a really genuine guy who just really bought in to the opportunity that was given to him, and I think he's just paying it back, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, he's a stud. Well, you are too, Allie. Incredible work on the drive there. I don't know what else we would call it.
Thank you. I know. Well, thank you for retweeting it, and of course, Brian, my guys for life, for showing out and donating your own money and making it known to the world for what we were doing in little old Auburn Twitter. So,
Allie D, we miss you, and we
awesome.
know we're so stoked to see you out there dominating like we knew you would.
Oh, well, Well, thank you. And I'm around the bunk. I've been active a lot more the last.
I have seen that, and
around.
that's huge. I love it.
So I'm around. So I'm when people tag me and stuff, I see it. Don't you let them forget that.
All right, Allie D.
Awesome.
Appreciate you. Bye. There she is, Allie D, former intern at Auburn at auburnsports.com, and now successful adult. We'll just put it that way. Who coordinated an incredible effort to raise money initially for the kids that were camping out last night, but the money got so big that, like she said on the call there, that she knew really quickly that they were going to be spending a lot more money than just the stuff the kids needed. So she ended up making a $7,700 donation. Oh, nice, to the Pearl Family Foundation Outlive emphasis, and which helps cancer. The families of cancer patients kind of get money for the things they need to make it happen, like transportation to and from. Like if they're going to MD Anderson, man, that's a long way away, and it costs a lot of money, and you got to house people and get them there, and those kinds of things, logistical things that BP's very, very passionate about. Him and Coach Stephen Pearl. So that was awesome. $7,700 there, and then Allie said $800 to a similar foundation that they have at University of Kentucky. So that's really, really awesome. Incredible work there, not only by her and the folks who helped her, but the people who gave as well. And for what it's worth, I also made a donation as well. And Caddy Wumpus says, Allie, get on in here and let CW show what's up, LOLs. Oh, well, you heard what her requirements were. You heard what her requirements are, Caddy. So I know, let's see, she needed to be an Auburn graduate, which I think you are, someone who can talk about Auburn, which I know you can, and then you have to have a job. I'm assuming you do. Probably do. Probably have a great job. I don't know. Not trying to get too deep into it, though, you know. So we're glad to have Allie D on for sure. That was great. We haven't talked too much about the game. Again, Auburn Tigers fell behind a little bit there early, being sloppy with the ball. I don't know if it was – I wrote this in my game wrap. It's up on the front of auburnsports.com right now, but I don't know if it was just kind of the hype of the game, the pressure of the moment. I mean, Auburn Arena, I was not in it myself because I was here. I'm doing my show live from Montgomery, but Christian was saying that it was unlike anything he'd ever seen, that it was just absolutely raucous, and I had told my friends – who are Kentucky fans coming into the game, it's going to be like Beirut, and I think it may have been. Now we have one of our favorite callers on, AU Storm 20. What's up, brother?
What's going on, JG? How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great because the Auburn Tigers are victorious again, and I love it when Auburn wins.
Oh, man, it's just extra sweet when we just absolutely beat Kentucky. I mean, I have never seen a fan base cry more about a loss than they have today, about referees losing a player. Auburn didn't know how to win. Why is the atmosphere so crazy against Kentucky? Look, it's like that every single game. Like, these people live in a bubble, and they just don't look outside of it. I mean, they can't help it. They can't handle the fact that we are challenging them every year at the top of the SEC, and it's beautiful to see. Well, I know you're from there, and you know a lot about Kentucky. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I don't really know what to say about that specifically, except the fact that Auburn is really good now. And I think since Pearl really got his shit together, like when he finally got the guys into the program that he needed, I think there were 6-5 since then, and they've won probably 3 of the last 4, something like that. I mean, because when they won in the tournament, that win right there was worth about 10. Because that actually broke Kentucky, and he's been successful with them ever since. I mean, really before that and since. So, to me, it just shows you that Auburn's just like for real, I mean, and we know that. We live that. We see it every single game. So, I don't know. Last year, AU Storm 20, I was thinking about this the other day. Last year was so weird when you look back on it, right? Because they weren't.
I don't really count last year.
I know. We all kind of expunge it from the memory, but it's weird that they were so poor with a lot of these dudes.
Well, I heard a lot of excuses of like, Ty went out, Ty this. And yeah, Ty is a very good player. Probably will be a first-round NBA pick. I mean, really, great scorer, comes off the screens well, good defensively. But they're acting like they put a bunch of walk-ons in the game after that. they had the number 1, number 2 recruiting class in the country. It's not like they were putting scrubs in
Yeah.
to play against us after that. I mean, that was the biggest excuse I saw the whole time was, we'll play us again when we have tie. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a closer game, but we did not look great the first half. We were too amped up. We turned the ball over. I mean, I have to go back and look at how many points they got off of turnovers. And once we cut that down, I mean, I thought we just dominated.
Yeah.
From end to end, we controlled the glass. We controlled the ball on offense, took smart shots, quit being so loose with the ball. And from that point, it was like, I don't know if even having Tata would have made a difference. And I think that's what's they're just missing that point. But enough about them. That was the biggest thing for me, was that we came out just so amped up, and rightfully so. I mean, if I had people camping out to watch me play, I'd be pretty amped up too. Obviously that would never happen. But it's like that. I could see why we were so amped up, so excited, so loose with the ball, and a lot of times that plays in the favor of the away team. And then once we settled down and got some good looks, and KD, hit a couple shots, Jabari, I just thought it was over from that point. And shout out to Devin Cambridge. I thought he was really good on defense today. And he did what he needed to do when he got in there. Didn't take too many crazy shots. Same thing with Zepp. I mean, Zepp at guarding the point and just, I think he's a difference maker when he's in there on defense. And with him in there, it's a totally different look on defense. I thought Wendell had a weird game, but when we needed him to show out, he came in there and he showed out. Him and Kessler on the 1 and 2 and the pick and roll up top is just unstoppable. I don't know how teams, if Kentucky can't stop that, I don't know who can, with Sheboy and some of those guys up top.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was good to see. It was kind of a relief in a sense that all the build up to it, it all came to a head there, and we came out on top, and it was kind of like, all right, cool. So the camping out, the Pearlville, now called Jungle Village,
Jungleton,
was worth it. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, one of those things. It all came to it all was worth it. And now Tuesday is going to be a really hard game, in my opinion, because Missouri is picking some people off, and they're probably going to come out firing against us.
Yeah, they are. And again, Auburn's going to probably be number 1 for that game, so that's a big old target. It matters. I'm telling you, it gets people juiced up in ways that you just never really seen before. I'm telling you, they come at you like you're a jackal, and they've got to defend their family from you.
Yeah, and when we got to number 4 in 2019, 2020 with Javon, Samir, Isaac, that team didn't seem to handle pressure too well. I mean, like that game against Alabama stuck out, right? I think this team is poised to handle this spot. They're going to drop a couple. Like I know someone said this is pretty much lock up the rest of the regular season. No way. I mean, still a long year, still a lot of games left. We need Texas A&M to lose. We don't need to lose 2 more. Like there's just a lot in play here. But I think this team can handle it. I mean, they've proven they could. So I'm excited to see what that looks like Tuesday. If we do get number 1, which we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Auburn was only 4 points short out of I don't know how many points were out there, 28,000 or something like that. Because Auburn had 1,400 and Gonzaga had 1,404 or something like that. I mean, it's going to swing, and it's going to be Auburn. So. Yeah. Yeah.
If people vote just by Ken Palm, aka Jesse Newell, we should be number 1 because we jumped up to number 4, I think.
Yeah, currently number 4 in Ken Palm, so that's good. And I can't tell how many wins it is in a row, but it's like 15-ish, right? Does that sound right? 15 in a row, I think. Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Since the UConn loss, and that's one of the great games of the year in college basketball. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I would love to get a rematch against them at some point. I think it'd be a different game. That was a great game. I mean, I think that's what set the season, teed the season off for us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good loss to get things going.
Hey, Storm 20, you're the man. Do you think we should do a show on Tuesday? Or if they're number 1, we got to do a show every night, right? I mean, or every game, right?
Yeah, I mean, this might be my last show for a little bit. Today is my son's due date, so I got a little one on the way. So we'll see what that looks like. I'll probably call in if things happen. If things don't happen, but I think a show is warranted from this point forward.
All right, word.
As long as there aren't 8 p.m. tips.
Word. Well, we need you on the show, though, bro. I mean, you can still talk if you have a son or daughter, right?
Yeah, I know. I'll probably call.
I may have to intercede with your wife or something and be like, hey, we need him. Maybe she'd be cool with it.
I think she'd appreciate it. I'd be like, hey, sweetheart, go get you a little nap. And, I'll get the call in.
All right. Well, anyway, congratulations on the upcoming addition to the family. It's always fun. I remember many years ago when I had a daughter, and it was fun. Well, I mean, I still have one, but she was a baby at one time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, also prayers up to Chrissy.
Yeah, man.
Thinking about their family.
Bummed out that story's not going better right now, but hey, man, great chance for a comeback here.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Good one, man.
Appreciate you. See you, man.
Thanks.
There he is, AU Storm 20, about to have a child. Well, I mean, his wife is, but, it's a team effort. SSim008 jumps in. Well, I do want to shout out Blake. As you see there, Natalie dressed as always. One of our favorite East Coasters, one of our favorite brain drainers and bunkers from the East Coast is JGT Warname Eagle. We number one. Sorry I'm late, but here's my contribution. Bourbon time. Where is the applause? There we go. Blake R. lives mere miles from one of my favorite people from college, Christy. Not Miss Christy, but Christy. I don't even know what her married name is. We'll just call her Christy P. Who lives in Cambridge. She lives in Cambridge, Maryland, which is out toward where Blake R. lives. Anyway, thanks for the support, bro. You know how I feel about you. B. Parham jumps in. Bro, Jay, love the drain. Thanks for doing this. It's Tig Bro. What's up, Tig Bro? I see you posting all the time, man. I think you got one of the Tuskegee Airmen as your. I think you do as one of the as your avatar. Anyway, here we go. We'll do a little ASMR. You guys ready? Oh, hold on. I got to do the cork. Here we go, guys. Oh, could you hear that one? Did you hear it, guys? Mike G was asking if he could call in. Of course he can. We love that. And SSim008, as I mentioned earlier, a channel. I hear a lawn man, and I'm trying to figure out why we have a lawn man on a 35-degree day when nothing's growing. But whatever. I'm sorry if you guys hear that. SSim008, one of our channel legends, an absolute stud. Warname Eagle JG, loving this team. Beat you too many ways. Not me, but he's talking about this team will beat you too many ways. Someone always steps up, and if no one does, just lob it up. Lob City, hell yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. C Moses 2373 says, JG, Ole Miss guy here from Rebel Grove. Can you get some cool Cathead stuff with all this super chat money that you're about to acquire? Hashtag shout out Cathead. Yeah, hold on, bro. I got some right here. There we go. Now we got the 10 type series there. I'm going to be honest with you though. See, Moses, if you live over in Mississippi, you're going to have the Magnolia State. You're going to have better luck getting a Cathead than I do. All I can do is get the old Soul 90 proof over here. The other stuff is allocated because our state is an allocation state, and I hate it, but it makes it hard for me to get the 109 proof single barrel stuff, and then the 10 type I actually had to get out of the lottery, so it's tougher for me. You guys have stuff like High Cotton over there where all that delicious stuff is. I'm gonna give Mike G the numb, and all right. I just gave Mike G the number, so he'll call in here in just a sec. And you know how we feel about the War Report, specifically Michael G, who is a Warzone friend of mine as well. Chip jumping in with a S-Sim. What a stud. An absolute legend. Here's another legend right here, Chip Chip, who is the guy responsible for these awesome AuburnSports.com cups that we have. Mine says Commodore, others say Swoogan on them. There are also some. I actually owe Dad of Three Girls one, by the way. I have it packed up. I keep aiming to come over there, but I was sick this past week. I didn't want to come over there and infect where you work. I'll leave it at that. Felix the Cat 227 says, "Sup, JG War MF Eagle, my man. What's up, man? Glad to have you. I bet you this is Mike G calling in right here. I don't even have him in the damn database. How about that? Hey, it's JG. Who this?
Mike G.
What's up, bro?
What's up, dude?
It's awesome to talk with you. You've been requested to be at our show in Mobile, which I don't think you're going to make because you don't really live nearby, do you?
Yeah, I'm a little far from Mobile.
That ain't a drive for you.
Yeah, so it's a tough drive from DC, but you know, there were some direct flights in there. I might hang out.
Yeah, well, we could send you up with the AuburnSports.com chopper. I don't know if that would be good for you.
Definitely, I'll take a chopper.
Hey, when we were talking, right when you guys were first getting started, like I don't know how what's been 2 years now. Is that when it was?
You know what? Yeah, it's been about a year and a half. About a year and a half.
Okay. You didn't. I mean, I thought your vision in the beginning was, you know, we love football. We know football. We're going to talk football. But now that Auburn has gotten so good in basketball, you guys have really adapted well, and you're doing basketball too. I love it.
Yeah, you know, it's not as in depth. You know, the whole point of our channel, man, is that we're fans too, right? And we're fans that may know a little bit more than the average fan. You know, we are connected. You know, I was a student video guy for the football team when I was in college. You know, we all went to Auburn. We love Auburn. We're not unbiased, but we're in this weird thing where we are kind of like press, but we're not. And so it's new territory for a channel like ours. And you know, it's the only reason we didn't lead with basketball is because people just did. I mean, honestly, Auburn fans have not traditionally cared as much about basketball, if at all, until these last few years. We had one Sweet 16 team when I was in school in 2003, but you know, it's just Auburn sports, man. Being able to cover like everything Auburn, think about it, man. You know, if the football team makes a comeback, you got maybe a Final Four team. You've got an Olympic gold medalist on your gymnastics team right now. You know, swimming and diving is always good. There's so many different things they're good at this point. It's just kind of exciting to be a part of it. So
hell yeah,
we're trying to bridge a gap, right, for layman fans who, you know, they follow, but we're trying to create community as well too, do some good in the community. You know, it's you know, turned this thing into a 6-figure business in 12 months.
Wow, that's impressive. And the work you guys have done with the Lee County Humane Society as well has been great, man.
Yeah, you know, just again, it was, you know, that cause is near and dear to my heart, right? Like, so, you know, just using your platform for something good is something I think that is very, very important. You know, because anybody can be popular, right? Like, and, you know, sometimes for the wrong reasons, but if you're not using your platform to help other people, it's kind of a waste in my book. So, you know, we had Luke Deal on where we helped raise money for his dad's ALS fund. You know, there have been some other causes. We're going to get behind the AUT Live thing here. I have a friend who sits on that board for Bruce Pearl's Foundation, and she's battling. She lives up here by me in DC. She's battling stage 4 cancer right now. So, you know, being able to get behind these causes, you know, a lot of people watch the show and they just think, oh, these guys are opinionated about football and they think they know this and that. And, you know, I mean, the sudden notoriety, man, I'm telling you, if we could do what we do without it, I can do without it. But like right now, there's a guy in the comments that says Mike G ran off Bo Nick. Man, let me tell you, if I had a dime for every time somebody blamed me personally for something that went wrong with Auburn football, oh, bro, I'd have a couple $100 right now. But, you know, I'm learning how to ignore kind of the noise. You know, our channel is a force for good. You know, I'm happy that we were able to partner with JG early. He was the early believer in what we were doing, which to me is important, right?
Well, hell yeah.
He took it seriously before a lot of the success. He's always going to be, top man in my book for that. But
appreciate that, bro.
It is what it is.
Tell me about this. Tell me about this basketball game, dude. I mean, what stood out to you about this win over Kentucky? Because, I mean, it's obviously a big deal. Lots of good things happening in that game.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Like, there is this aura around Kentucky basketball, and I thought it was pretty clear that Auburn was better than Kentucky down the stretch here this year. But people refuse to believe it, right? Like with Auburn, I think that's what you saw in some of the posters. Like they wanted to rank Auburn high, but they don't trust it because we just have not traditionally been one of those names that you can rely on. And I thought this game went a long way to kind of breaking that thought process, right? Like, hey, you can bet on Auburn and trust it now. Right, I thought that's what it did for us, and you win enough of those games, and it buys you the benefit of the doubt later, right? Bruce Pearl is the common denominator, so as long as we've got him, people will believe in that process. Mm-hmm. He's going to continue to recruit well. So there was a comment by Jeff Goodman where he just said, you guys, we didn't get out talented by Kentucky in this game, which is super important because even when they're down, the perception is they're still good or deserving, right?
Yeah.
And, Auburn is trying to work into that space. I thought today's win went a long way into helping them achieve that. So, you want to get that respect come tourney time, man. You want the easiest path in the tourney, and that's getting the number one seed. And, right now being a number one overall certainly helps, but, you want that number one seed come March, man. It's just the tournament's hard enough already. I thought that they're going to lose. I asked Bruce Pearl in the presser, and he responded. He's like, "Listen, man, we're going to get beat at some point, but when we do get beat, it's not because we're resting on our laurels." And that's man. I mean, that mindset, man. It's just amazing to hear him say that, right? Like, and so when we do get beat, do they give us the respect and drop us from like a couple spots, or do we rock it out of the top 10 because we lost the game?
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'll be waiting to see. How much cachet did this win buy you in the minds of these pollsters? I mean, you're 18-1 and you just knocked off the top 10 Kentucky, and they've just got to kind of respect it, right? Like, if we lose to a tough Texas A&M team, how far did that should not drop this team very far at this point in my book, given the losses that some of these other schools in the top 5 have on their resume, bad losses, right?
Yeah.
Auburn doesn't have a bad loss right now. Auburn doesn't have a bad loss.
We got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of work ahead. So.
Yeah. So, and then when you look at the schedule, looking ahead, what would be considered a bad loss? Like maybe Missouri. The conference is tough this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, Missouri's currently 141 in Ken Palm. Georgia, I can't imagine Auburn losing to Georgia, but they're 224. And Ole Miss at this point is kind of lagging behind too. So any of those would be a bad loss, but everybody's got a few. And Auburn's a lot better than those teams right now. So, Auburn just won by 9 at Ole Miss. So when that game's in Auburn Arena, you wouldn't think it'd be very close.
Yeah, you're right. Missouri would be a bad loss for sure, and Georgia would be a bad loss. Outside of that, you've got Vanderbilt, Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Maybe might.
Yeah, that's not good. But the big games now, the really tough games now are you going to be at Tennessee on February 26th. That's a tough game there. At Florida is always a challenge, and they've been playing a little bit better here lately, so that's going to be a tough one. And then for me, at Arkansas, I know Arkansas has been beat up. They're not very good. Their numbers don't look great right now. I am absolutely convinced that that's a team that's going to go to the NCAA tournament, and they're going to turn it on the second half of the SEC season. I swear they are. So that's going to be a tough one as well. February 8th, Auburn plays at Arkansas, so that's going to be a showdown for sure.
Yeah.
Still a lot of work to be done.
For sure. Yeah, man, it's exciting. I'm looking at these ticket prices, dude. Like, it's just $500 for the Bama game at home, right? Like these ticket prices are insane.
Well, you love watching the Tigers teabag the Tide anytime you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I know.
Feels good.
Like, we didn't get credentialed for this Kentucky game. I was going to come down for it, but the new SID there, Marlene, took over, so the process changed, and I was just unaware. So I put credentials in for the rest of the remaining home games, just to make sure that we can get there to cover this down the stretch, and then we'll probably head down to Tampa to cover the SEC tourney as well too. So,
all right.
Exciting times, man. Like I said, we're blessed, dude, to just even have the community and the audience that we have. And we're expanding, so our film reviews are going to another level. Like, you know, when you turn on ESPN, you know how they like put a halo of light around a player, and you know they show like directions and they pop things out of the screen to kind of do that. We're working on that right now with our film reviews.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. It's gonna be next level stuff, man, for our YouTube channel. And same on the basketball side. Isaac is diagramming out a lot of these plays by Bruce, and then just kind of using arrows and graphics to, you know, kind of demonstrate what's happening and why Auburn basketball works. So, you know, we're all working full-time jobs, man, trying to do this full-time as well. So there's almost not enough hours in the day to do all the things that we want to do. But, you know, hopefully, you know, the next 6 figures I make means I can quit my job, you know, and then just work for myself full time.
That'd be cool. Well, I believed in you. Yeah, I mean, the first time I talked to you, I knew you were somebody that was gonna win. So I'm glad to have been in your corner when nobody else was. Well, not necessarily because they didn't believe in you, just nobody knew who you were yet. You know.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. There's still a lot of hate out there for our channel, man. Let me tell you, like, dude, I get a racist email every day. There's one guy created a Twitter space, I shit you not, that says Mike G has no clue what he's talking about. That was an actual Twitter space.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about the racist shit. That's bullshit. But people just making fun of you for being a dumbass. That's just life.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is super interesting, man. Like, we've done so well, and you know it's good to be, you know, this time with Auburn sports kind of surging. It's amazing to be a part of it in any kind of way. So we're thankful, we're grateful, dude. Man, we're happy.
All right, bro. You're doing a hell of a job, man. You and Ike, C-Dub, and B. Will making it happen day by day. That's what it's about.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that.
All right, man. See ya. There he is, Mike G. Also from the Eastern Seaboard, and one of the guys from the War Report. It's a 4-man operation. I feel like Mike G's the lead singer, but we don't know. We always want to credit the bassist, the guitarist, and the drummer as well. Yeah, Jason's like racist eek. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I know Mike G kind of gets out there, you know, and he talks his smack, but the racist thing is just, it's never okay. It's never, I don't understand. It's just a dumb thing. Auburn alumni. I was still on a thought there. I wanted you to, Auburn alumni was calling in, and I wanted to take it, but I was thinking about Mike G there. Yeah, the racist thing, I can't do that. Auburn alumni, what's up, man?
Man, more damn Eagles, did you?
What up, bro? War Eagle to you. I'm
just sitting here basking in the glory of, correct me if I'm wrong, our 6th straight year with at least one victory over Kentucky, including postseason.
Interesting idea there. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds great.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. We beat them in 16 with Canny, right? And then we won the SEC. I know we beat them at home 17. 18-19, they lost both the regular season, but we beat them in the Elite Eight. We beat them at home in 19-20. And then even last year, you know, Sharif, we beat them at Auburn, and then we beat them in Auburn this year. So if I'm not mistaken, that's 6 straight seasons that we've got at least one victory over mighty UK.
Interesting. I'm not seeing one for 17.
I thought we beat them in 17. Did we not?
Lost in Rupp Arena by 20, and then didn't play them again.
Okay.
But 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 is definitely a go. So that's 5 years, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, man, just really excited. Obviously, like everybody else. starting out the game, I thought the length of the guard really, messed with Wendell, and obviously we were amped up. I think we turned the ball over like 6 times the first 10 minutes, something like that. I know they had a gazillion points off turnovers, but the biggest thing that stood out to me, obviously, was Walker handling his own against Oscar. I mean, Oscar's a beast. That dude's going to get his no matter what. But then the other thing was just the balance. Even though the commentators talked about, Jabari's such a weapon, but he only had 4 shots in the first half. And even in the second half, he never really, there was never a stretch where Jabari just took 10 straight shots. I mean, you saw KD get in there, Walker. Allen had some really nice plays. But the best part of the game plan for me, even when we weren't in our shots, I said this in the first half to my buddies, is we were attacking inside, and we kept attacking inside, which ended up paying off. We had, 29 free throws, which I'm sure the UK fans will complain about for the next, 3 months. But it was great, man. I mean, like you said, there's a long way to go. But, you got to think with a 3-game lead now, essentially with a tiebreaker in UK, we're in great shape to win our, 3rd SEC title under Bruce in the last 4 years. So that's not too shabby.
Now, where are you at, bro? You sound like you're in a tin cup or something.
Oh, I had to go to the gym, man, and work off some of this energy. I'm driving back to the house. I apologize.
Attaboy. I had no problem, man. No problem. All right, so got the game against. Got the game against Missouri on Tuesday. Does that worry you at all? Just having to go to Missouri, a team that's been playing a little bit better lately.
Only if our guys are, kind of starting off slow. I mean, Missouri's okay. They play pretty tough with some teams, but I'm not as worried about them as I am like Alabama coming to Auburn, even though I think we'll win. The thing with Bama is at any moment, those guys can just start hitting everything. And as you know, and as everybody knows, if you got a team that's got a lot of three-point shooters, and they'll have bad games, but they have that good game where, they hit 16 at 22 or something like that, that could be a problem. But, I honestly, and not to be home, so I got the orange blue glasses, but I really feel like, we can get an injury, but barring an injury, I don't see this team dropping more than a game down the stretch. That's just my opinion. Just looking at, if I'm not mistaken, do we play A&M in Auburn, or we get them in College Station?
It's in Auburn. That game is in Auburn, yeah. So that's one that you're not necessarily as worried about.
I'll agree with UK and LSU fans, and we definitely caught a big-time break with our schedule this year, and that most of the really good teams, we either play them once and it's in Auburn, or at least play them at least once in Auburn if we do play them twice. So Gainesville might get tricky, especially since the Castleton gave us so much trouble last game. But no, man, I'm thinking 2 or 3 losses max. That's just me going into the tournament. And, in the SEC tournament, who knows? But, it's just amazing. I was a Cliff Dweller from 98 till 2001. And the last time that I was this hyped for a game was when Doc hit that shot in the 99-2000 season to beat UK in Beer Eves. And this game was right there, and obviously surpassed it. But it's just amazing. It's amazing what Bruce has done. I said it in the message board. This is Bill Snyder, Kansas State level stuff that he's done at Auburn. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
He's taken a perennial doormat with no one cared a thing about basketball. There was no, a lot of apathy. We had every once in a while we had a moment. But what he has done, and it's not, it doesn't feel like it's not a flash in the pan. It's been now 4 or 5 straight years of, outside of COVID. I don't really count that year. But we have not counting the COVID year with no fans, I think we have 4 or 5 home losses in 5 years. You've got, 3 20-plus win seasons. You're going to have another one this year. So it's amazing. The guy is a legend. We should build him a golden statue, but it's great. But yeah, great game. The best part about all this is, again, we're not dependent on Jabari. Jabari is an incredible talent. He made shots in that game that are just, he's the number 1 pick. But the balance in this team and the way that we spread it around, Bruce knows what he's doing, and it's all going to pay off in March. It's going to pay off in the SEC tournament, NCAA tournament. So, war damn. But it's great hearing the Saltiteers from Kentucky, and, that's great that they want to think that they're special. That's wonderful. This is a special L for you. You can take it back to Lexington, talk about how, we're only excited because it's Kentucky, and you can take this special L, and, we'll see you in Tampa.
Yes, sir. All right, man, have a good workout. We appreciate you calling in, bro. You're always a valued member of the community.
Hey, You want that? You too, JG.
See you, bro. Bye. There he is, Auburn alumni. Glad to have him always. Good caller, football and basketball. He's the two-headed monster there. He can kind of talk about anything intelligently. I like that. We mentioned earlier we had a super chat come through from the legend himself, Why Not AU, Patrick D., who had mentioned that, let's see, the last show we had, which would have been last weekend, that he was going to be trying to put something together for the Alabama game, the home Alabama game. Here he is right now, so we'll just take this call right now. Here he is, the guy I was just talking about. Why Not AU? What's up, man?
What is up, JG? How you doing, man?
Good. I appreciate the super chat, sir, and just generally the support that you provide to the channel all the time. I was mentioning that you've got something together for the Alabama game, right?
Yeah, man. We're just a little pregame beat Bama party, you know. That's the thing about basketball, you know, they're tailgating, so we got to do something to get the folks riled up and get ready. You know, it's no Pearlville or Jungle City or whatever they're talking about, but it's sure going to be some fire before we get ready to go and whip their ass in Auburn Arena.
So it's going to be at the Auburn Draft House? That's what you're saying here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do some DJing with DJ Q Money and then Why Not AU as well, right?
Yeah, Q Money, he's straight up. He's an Auburn guy. He does a lot of work down in Destin, that area, but also does some stuff in Auburn. So we're going to partner up, make it happen, let people have a good time, and then go watch the game.
And then folks are just kind of welcome to come, right?
That's right. Come on in.
That's what I like to hear. I'm going to be there. I'm going to come by.
Cool.
I mean, I got to meet you, bro. I got to meet you.
Yeah.
I was just pouring another brown water. Tell me about your thoughts on this basketball team. I know you've been a fan for a long, long time of what Bruce Pearl's been doing.
Yeah, I would say the thing that I was most pleased with was Walker Kessler's physicality down low. You know, I was a little hesitant to say he would do as well as he did. I just thought 34, you know, his body type and kind of the way he played, I was afraid, you know, Walker may have a little trouble, but he mixed it up, man. And I mean, he mixed it up with that guy. And I just thought that was the star of the show. On the flip side, I thought we got a little exposed in the first half. We looked a bit out of sorts, but I really think that was what Kentucky was doing. You know, I didn't think our guard play was that crisp early on, which is something that we were kind of concerned about, you know, coming in. So, you know, I think with Ty Washington, the game's a lot closer for them, but I still think at home we win. But we looked a bit out of sorts, and I think Kentucky had a lot to do with it. So at the end of the day, we came back, put the pedal to the metal, and did what we did, and we won at the end of the day. And a big part of it was Kessler and how physical he was down low.
He sure was. He was not scared of Oscar Tshiebwe at all and went right at him. The thing is, they didn't necessarily stop Tshiebwe all that much. He had a great game. I think he had 14 points and 15 rebounds or something like that. But Walker had a great game as well. 17 or 19 points, and was just kind of a menace for them. So I think it's just a matter of trying to find a way to defend maybe a really physical five. Auburn's got to find a way because I think, you know, like Sonogo for UConn was very good and he hurt them, and then Tshiebwe is another guy like that and he hurt them as well. So it just gives Pearl something to kind of chew on and let them think about. You know, he'll figure something out.
Yeah, that part. I got no worries. The guy's in command. Bruce Pearl's going to figure it out. He knows how to manage the psychology of the team, their mental health. He knows how to work that. We got nothing to worry about there, man. I thought, you know, Jalen had 7 points, but probably the most important 7 points he's ever gotten. Because if you look at when he got those points, they were key moments in the game. And I just thought he looked good. Somebody said Cambridge on the defensive side played well. I totally agree, man. He was in people's face the whole time. And, you know, everybody contributed. I think, you know, BMAT wrote a quick article after the game kind of speaking to that. And that's what this team does, man. They contribute. But, you know, we got to learn some things from this game. This game had the look and feel of a tournament game. Kentucky's no joke from a talent standpoint. They don't have a ton of depth, but that starting five, they probably challenged our starting five across the board more than any team has this year, in my opinion.
Auburn's got a lot of depth, man. They played 9 or 10. I mean, if Leor's available, which he wasn't today, but today they had 9. Normally have 10, and then you got a team like Kentucky, which only had 7, and then when Ty goes out at 6, and then it's time to just run them out of the gym, and that's kind of what Auburn was doing.
That's kind of what they did, and I think that was the game plan from Bruce. I've seen some people going back and forth over, why are we taking guys out? Why are we sticking to these rotations? But I think it's important we do stick to rotations. I think we need to give the guys minutes. I think we need to keep people fresh. I think we need to do that because we need to plan for March. That's what this is about, man. Getting there, not going to be a problem for us. But getting through the gauntlet, it's always touch and go. And we need to have everybody on board and everybody healthy and everybody ready to go and contribute when we get to turning time.
Yeah, and you got. So I hate to be the one to bring it up, but injuries, man. I mean, somebody's going to get injured eventually, and you just kind of have to mitigate that as well. Auburn's been really good with injuries so far. Let's see, Al missed the first 12 or 13 games with that Achilles injury, but really there hasn't been much else. And if you can avoid that,
we had exactly, yeah, and it's going to happen, man. A loss is bound to happen, but guess what? And you just gotta learn from it and move on. I guess basketball is more like being a defensive back. You got to forget that last play and you got to move on. You got to forget the last game. You got to move on. So I'm real pleased with the team. I'll take the win all day long. Kentucky can bitch and moan and complain all they want. Shiway's already said some shit on Twitter that they're better than us, and the only reason we won basically was, I don't know if you saw this.
I did not.
He said they're better than us, and that when they have all their help, when they're all healthy, that basically they'll take us out in the tournament. That was the implication, and I was like, this could not work out better for us to have this kind of bulletin board material when if and when we do rematch with them.
Wow.
So so he was being a little bitch like Kentucky does. That they're bammers, they're arrogant assholes, just like bammers are about football. They are about basketball. So comes with the territory. That's the way they roll. One of them said that they hope that what was it? Hope that Walker Kessler lost his legs in an accident. That was the other one.
Oh, nice. Twitter. That's classy.
Yeah, but it's typical. It's typical. So, again, they're the bammers of basketball, arrogant assholes. So there you go. But, right. Man, I'm going to let some others get up in it. Again, you guys do a great job. Love having Mike G on there. Speaking of assholes, anybody, these guys are professionals, man. They do a great job on that site. They love Auburn. Whoever's sending them racist shit, they should be gone out of here, man. There's no room for that kind of stuff, man.
We agree,
and it's just sad and sickening. And whoever that is, we'll probably find out they were a Bammer or a sorry ass Wildcat too. So anyway,
hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
That's the way it goes.
Looking forward to seeing you at the AU Draft House, though. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm hitting the old Pogue again today. So good stuff, man. Remember Maysville, you got to check out old Pogue.
All right, bro.
Jack Pogue, Auburn family. They make some good bourbon.
That's what I like to hear. All right, why not? Appreciate your support and calling in and everything you do, man. You're an absolute legend, man.
All right, man. Well, we all do it. Everybody on the bunker, we contribute. That's how we do it.
See you, man.
All right. Later.
Bye. There he is. Why not AU? Another one of our Eastern Seaboarders. Legend. Nope. Absolute legend. There's no doubt about that. Why not's going to have he's going to do a shindig.
I saw.
Like a pregame shindig. Do you think you can make that?
We'll chat.
It's on February 1, I think. Or somewhere like that. I don't know. Let's see.
Yep.
What? Yes, that's true, or yes, you're just going along with me. Yeah, Tuesday, February 1. So we just kind of go over there and have some brown water with Why Not. He's going to be kicking it up with, he's going to have a DJ, although he is a DJ himself, but Q Money's going to be doing it too.
Sweet.
You sound enthused. I like that. Do you want to dance? Like, not now, but I mean at the party?
Sure.
Oh, wow, okay. That's good. All right, so Cleveland Brown is updating us on the NFL playoff game. It says Derrick Henry stopped short on a 2-point try. It's 6-6. What are we doing?
Let's say you have a special guest.
I do have a special guest. It is the Puglet. Let's see. I don't know if I can do the camera. I don't have a camera set up for him.
Oh, I have it. It's on.
Well, I know, but I don't know how to switch it up.
Never mind. Come here.
Hey, man, why are you stepping on my stuff? Come here. You want to come sit?
Aww.
Oh, look at the Puglet. Say hello. Can you say hello to the peoples? Say hello to Why Not? Can you say hello to Taxman? The Taxman, I love you, man. You're pretty cool. Oh, my God.
Here, get over here.
That was Maverick, for those of you who don't know, my dog. We got a super chat coming through from one of our channel legends, War Eagle 0008. Ward Eagle felt like we played poorly and still won. I don't know about poorly, but I know what you're saying. They did not start well and had some issues, particularly with the turnovers in the first half. I actually see like the first half of the first half, so I guess the first quarter of the game. And they definitely got it calmed down. I know in the second half, they went like the first 10 to 12 minutes of the second half and didn't have any turnovers. What are you doing? He loves having headphones on. My pug is he loves it. Chip says he thinks he got pug snot on him through the show, through the video. And yeah, let's see. Chip says administrative assistant going to destroy the draft house. Hope they nail down the furniture. He may have been just talking about me because he just said admin because you're administrative assistant. So you're not actually... D. Lucky says, administrative assistant is dancing at this party. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Since D. Lucky has stayed here at Shea Tate, he would certainly know that administrative assistant is quite a dancer. Feet never leave the floor. Right? Grindworks in the house. One of our favorite. I know you've been around a little bit today, but one of our favorite football folks is. How are you doing today, JGT? I'm feeling good right now. I've had a little bit of this Lux Row double barrel 12-year, which as our crack research staff over here, Courtney, found that this is only available in the gift shops at the Lux Row Distillery in Bardstown. I did not go there to get this. I had a friend who hooked me up, Justin O. Justin O ought to be a channel legend.
He needs to come on.
He does need to come on and be part of the show. Justin O does. He's an Auburn man, and he loves him some bourbon. He knows more about bourbon than I do, like significantly so. Yeah. Chip says administrative assistant is the world's best moonwalker. She's very fleet of foot, absolutely. Former field hockey star. Courtney B. Tate, and then also basketball player, as we saw in the Transylvania yearbook, had a picture of her, and she was playing for the Coyotes. How'd they talk you into that?
I could play basketball.
Are you sure? Don't throw that at me. Don't. Let's see. Mobile alum, 1991, someone that the administrative assistant knows and likes, says in BMAT's write-up of today's game, he called Auburn the most college of college towns. We need this on it. We need shirts with this on it. The most college of college towns. Oh my goodness, we're being called right now by one of our all-time favorites, Ruxy Poo in the house. Ruxy Poo, what's up, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, JG?
Well, I'm doing better now that you're calling in. How are you been, man? I haven't heard from you in a minute. I mean, I've seen you on the board and shit, but.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Just low key with all this COVID stuff coming up and everything. Glad to hear you're feeling better. I know a lot of people didn't get with all sorts of
I don't
things.
know. There's like COVID's going around, obviously, but then there's some other like non-COVID shit that's going around that sucks too. You know, I don't know what's going on.
Like flu Rona or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've had a lot of people out I think I saw some article where like they've had the most call outs in the world this past month. I don't know how they keep track of that.
How do you track that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But man, what a great day today. I think we'll be number one on Monday, which, like Wendell said, it's best to be number one in April, but kind of cool for Auburn because I don't think we've ever been number one, have we?
No, never. Number two a few times, but never number one, and that's going to happen Monday. So that's a cool thing to look forward to, Ruxy Poo.
Oh, yeah. And, man, I just want to say this team, like, first of all, basketball's a game of runs. So, some people in the bunker get upset every now and then. First, I don't think any Auburn fan really has the right to get frustrated with Auburn basketball. But secondly, like, they remind me of 2010 Cam Newton, where we were down in some of those games, and I was like, okay, we're going to come back. Like, I just have that confidence in the team.
Yeah, well, you should. I mean, because this team's galvanized, and they play 9 deep. And maybe you don't believe in Dylan or, the other DC, but, dude, they have so many, like, premier talents. KD, Jabari, Kessler, Al Flanagan, Wendell Green. I mean, those guys are pimps, man. So much depth.
Oh, I know. I love them, and I believe in. I think Cambridge and Cardwell have been much improved. I heard you talking earlier, like last season, was funky even for some of those guys who are still on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was up with that. Maybe with the postseason ban and everything around Sharif, they just kind of weren't as into it. I'm not really sure, but they've been playing well. After watching today, like Kessler, like he just keeps impressing me more and more, especially when they get him involved, and also Wendell. I think when he transferred, I was like, I didn't know who he was from Eastern Kentucky, and he's awesome. So I'm really excited about that, and really excited about the team. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, it's good, man. And I know it's building toward a March Madness that I know you're going to be on the edge of your seat from start to finish, Ruxy Poo.
Oh yeah, I gotta figure out a way to get to one of these games because I want to, one day be like, okay, I saw the 2021, 2022 Tigers play in person. So I'll figure that out. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Brian Stoltz. I thought he was hilarious on the rundown
Really?
this week. Just his shade and hate for Kentucky. I don't know. I'm beginning to think he's funnier and funnier. I know he's a contrarian, but he's cracking me up. So,
well, that's good because you're kind of a discerning bunker folk, so that means something to me,
Oh yeah. I think I gave him a little hell on his article about Pearl and Oates just because he was a contrarian, but he puts up good articles, and I think we all appreciate that, especially because he seems to be, I guess maybe because he's from Kentucky, but he seems to have more knowledge about basketball. Like I know you do and Christian does, but man, it's just crazy how, first of all, Auburn and then even the bunker has just changed over since Bruce Pearl, and I don't know, it's awesome, especially with the disappointing football seasons we've been having lately. So, at least we have something. So, really excited. Really excited to see what this team can do in the tournament, but I'm trying to enjoy the ride, like I'm sure you and most others are.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, man. But JG, I'm going to hop off. I'll let you do your thing, but appreciate you taking my call, and you have a great one, man.
All right, man. See you, Ruxy Poo. There he is, Ruxy Poo, bunker legend, brain drain legend, great caller. Called in with the whole crew last time, as I recall. When he called in, he was with. Don't want to speak out of turn here. He may have been with Pocket Watch, maybe, and Canoe Man, maybe. I'm not sure exactly who he was with, but it was his whole group. And that was awesome. No doubt. We love having Ruxy Poo on. We were also going to check in with Sir Brian Matthews, if I could find his actual here. We've had some great callers today. My God. Think about all these awesome folks that have called in. Let's see. We had LED, AU Storm 20, Mike G, Auburn alumni, Why Not AU, and Ruxy Poo, of course. Man, that's a star-studded lineup if I've ever heard one. Checking on BMAT there. Let's see. BMAT sell. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll call BMAT and see if we'll see if this get up with him. You think he might be eating a milkshake? Is it possible?
Hello.
What's up, BMAT?
What's going on?
Well, we just had Ruxy Poo on the horn, Ruxpin, the great Ruxpin, and so it's gonna be tough for you to follow that, but
Probably impossible.
we'll give it a shot. What do you think about this team, man?
Well, did you hear about me almost jinxing the game from the start?
No. What'd you do?
Well, I wore my Braves hoodie, and it's kind of like that light blue, baby blue, and it's close to Kentucky blue. Yvonne says it's royal blue. But anyway, it was noticed, and it could have been disastrous had Kentucky won.
Ooh, yeah. Thank goodness you were able to
Yes.
dodge that one.
Auburn was able to overcome my mistake, yes.
So what about this team, man?
Unbelievable. I mean, that atmosphere was incredible. The students deserve so much credit for what they did, going out there and
Well, yeah.
just freezing cold temperature all night, standing in line, camping out. And they show up, and they were so loud and into it the whole game. And it was a great scene when the players went over there and partied with them afterwards a little bit. And then you see Tibbetts corner, It's like being at a basketball school right now. It's crazy.
It's like being at a basketball school? It's like you're
Yeah.
you are actually covering a basketball school, brother. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's happening.
I think D Lucky was asking if Yvonne was actually in the chat this week. I don't know if Yvonne's in the chat though, but she's obviously very esteemed.
I don't think she's in the chat, but she's doing some work, but she now says she's getting on her computer now and checking things out. So
she's among the most esteemed wives in all of the bunker. We'll say that.
She loves to listen to the rundown too, and my children are now listening to the rundown more. So.
Oh, I better be careful then.
Well, they've heard it before.
Well, not because I've said that about anything bad about them. Because your kids, I haven't met your son, but your two daughters are great. But sometimes I make fun of you for being a nerd or whatever. I don't want to do that.
No, they probably enjoy that more than anything.
Hey man, I know you're a big Beatles fan. Have you been watching this thing on Disney Plus? The 8
I have
hour?
not started yet. I've watched another thing. I think it was on another. I don't know if it was Netflix or another thing, but I haven't watched the one on Disney yet. But
You've got to watch it. Like it's 8 hours long, and it's just like them talking and hanging out. Like it's not set up. You really get a feel for who they are.
And they were incredible.
Who is your favorite Beatle?
John Lennon.
Really?
But I don't have like a one I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They all deserve their place.
John's cooler than I thought he was. Like he's a nicer person. Because you read these. I always grew up thinking he was kind of like the asshole, but he's actually cool. I like him.
Oh yeah.
He's not my favorite though.
Right.
I like George Harrison. He's my favorite.
He was great too, and deserves a lot of credit for some of his songs that he composed and sang were some of the best of all time.
Yeah, he did. And that's the crazy thing. Like here we are. They broke up 50 years ago, and Here Comes the Sun. I mean, that's still their biggest song. Like
yeah, while my guitar gently weeps is one of my favorite, and that's all George Harrison, and it's got
he wrote it, but Eric Clapton. Yeah. What do you mean? What's his name? What's his name? Come on, man.
I couldn't come up.
There she is. Yvonne has just jumped in the chat. Yvonne M. Okay. She goes by Yvonne M. as Mateer. Nice. She is a mother of dragons. Anyway, Brian Matthews, what can you tell me about post game? Anything interesting come up on post game?
Well, Pearl said he thought it should be Jungle City and not Pearlville, so we'll see about that. He said he's going to hit up some boosters to do some improvements out there, make it more susceptible or more nicer for camping out.
All right.
So we'll see. I still kind of like Pearlville or some other ones I've seen. But, if Bruce says Jungle City, then it'll be Jungle City, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
He said he wanted that to honor the students and not be about him. So that's a good place to come from.
Yeah.
They were not like overly we're the best. There wasn't any of that talk. It was, more of it was a great atmosphere. We know we still got work to do, et cetera, et cetera. So they seem to be taking it in stride pretty well, I thought. But they were definitely impressed by the atmosphere and definitely excited by just the whole Auburn thing that went on over the last 24 hours. It's been incredible.
Yeah, this has been insane. Talking about all the kids that camped out Friday night. There were some camping out Thursday night, but Friday night I think it got really thick up in there. And Christian was out there a little bit. Caleb, our intern, was out there a little bit. Me and Brian, maybe not as much.
No, I didn't make it. But Caleb is at the Titans game rooting for the Bengals right now.
Yeah, what a turd, man. He's going to be eating some bomb wings on Tuesday for sure. What a nerd. All right, so they're going to be number one on Monday, Brian Matthews. Might as well go ahead and get that story ready.
It sure looks that way. Yeah, even the guy who voted him number 9 is like, okay, yeah, wait till Monday. So I think it's happening.
Word.
Jesse Newell, yep.
Jesse Newell, yeah, he already said, I got the tweet up here on the show. It says, congrats to Auburn, good win, good week. Seems like you'll have a memorable Monday. So,
I mean, all he has to do is move into the top 5, right? And the results from last week are going to change. But I think more people are going to vote Auburn number 1 and Auburn higher because of that. So I'm with you. I think it's a sort of a done deal.
Yeah, so that means you can just kind of spend, not you, but I mean Auburn fans in general can spend the next, 36 hours just kind of enjoying the fact that you're going to be number 1 for the first time in school history. That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And you look at their schedule, and I don't know if it sound right or not, but they need a couple losses, right? Does that sound right? Just to get better, they need to have some more adversity, right? But they need to win the SEC, of course. But if you look at their upcoming schedule, at Missouri, I think that's Tuesday night. That's a place that Alabama went and lost at. So that's a trouble. Oklahoma at home, Alabama at home. We'll see. They could take Alabama a little lightly, maybe getting upset. At Georgia is going to be a romp. It's going to be a full Auburn arena there. But then at Arkansas, February 8th, that's going to be the real test. I think that's one. If Auburn's going to get an L in the next couple of weeks, that's probably going to be it.
Yeah, I've been a big believer in Arkansas. I know they're not playing great, but man, Auburn at Arkansas is a bitch of a game to win. They don't win there a whole bunch.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it would be a great thing for Auburn just to roll through the SEC 18-0. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they need to, lose a couple of games along the way to help them get better so they can be better prepared for, real March Madness.
Hell yeah, because there's going to be teams out there, man, that have those long guards like Ty Washington.
Yes.
Have big dudes like Jacob Timme at Gonzaga, who's just a big, girthy center, and they've got to find ways to kind of defend that. I thought Auburn took advantage of Oscar DeShebwe today on the offensive end, but defensively, He had a great game, Brian. I mean, they're going to have to find a way to kind of counteract those big dudes like that.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I think he had like 6 rebounds in the first few minutes or something crazy like that, but he finished with 14. Made that crazy shot. I forget when the clock was running out. I think that was in the second half.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a big dude. I thought Walker Kessler really played well against him, but I didn't think that Dylan performed really well. I thought he on the switches he just let him get away from him too many times and get easy buckets or easy putbacks. So that's something he'll have to work on.
Yeah, for sure.
But and I think you're dead on with the guards. Auburn gave up, especially in the first half, too much penetration. From the wings and from the point. And I thought they disrupted Auburn really good defensively there until Auburn sort of settled down. That first 5 minutes was rough.
Yes, it was. What, it was 19-9, I think, at one point, and it was like, Yeah.
And Auburn had a bunch of early turnovers and just looked out of sorts in many ways. Although their defense was good, just basically throughout. Other than defending the perimeter, I thought Auburn defensively was good from start to finish.
All right, brother. B-Matt, you're an absolute legend. You know that. You're one of the great sports writers here on the beat, and we're glad to have you at auburnsports.com, brother.
Hey, man, I love it. Hey, to everybody out there, enjoy this day, man. This is a monumental win in Auburn history. This is a big weekend, so enjoy it.
Yeah. Good stuff,
B-Matt.
B-Matt.
For me.
Behave yourself, bro.
I'll try.
See you, man.
Peace.
There he is, B-Matt. Brian Matthews. He is a doer of many things. See, Ben says, forget that, win out. Oh, talking about winning out. How about that? Yeah, let's just kind of take a look at Auburn's schedule coming up. I still had, let me bounce over to this other screen that I got here. That just kind of gives you the next 4 games. At Missouri, of course, Tuesday night, 7:30 on the SEC Network. A game that you think Auburn would probably win that game. But Alabama had some trouble playing at Missouri and ended up losing that game. Now, Auburn is not Alabama. Auburn's deeper than Alabama, has better forward play than Alabama for sure. So you think they would win that. Missouri's got to play, I think, A&M today. Let me check that out here on the internets and make sure that is correct. Missouri's playing at Alabama tonight. Ken Palm gives them a 6% chance of winning that game. 60? No, 6. 6.0. So they may be on a little bit of a losing skid there, like having lost 5 of their last 7. But anyway, Missouri's not necessarily a team you got to worry about too much. Oklahoma, of course, is out of conference, so I mean that matters, but it's not Oklahoma's been pretty good this year with Porter Moser, the first-year coach that they took from Loyola Chicago, but Alabama at home, you think they would probably win that game. Georgia away, you think they'd win that game. And as Brian Matthews mentioned, the game at Arkansas on February 8th is the game that you kind of have to think about a little bit. Joseph mentioned that A&M is at Arkansas tonight. A&M is a team that was streaking early in the season. I think they went, 6-1, 6-0, something like that to start. I can take a look at that here real quick. 15-3 overall. And started 4-0, and they lost at home to Kentucky. Now they got to go to Arkansas, which you think that might be a dub. Ken Palm has that as a 70% chance that Arkansas wins that game. So that would change a little bit as far as the standings go. For sure, I can pull up the standings over here. We had Jesse Newell's tweet that Mobile alum 1991 had made us aware of. Jesse Newell, the Kansas writer, who notably voted Auburn, I think, 8th last week, even though Auburn was probably deserving in the number 1 spot and had something like 35 first-place votes. He had them like 8th or 9th. Sounds like he's going to probably bump them up just a little bit. I would think so. And then, let's see. Yeah, the standings there. So if A&M playing at Arkansas tonight, if they lose, that would put them at 4-2. Kentucky 5-2. Auburn 7-0. So Auburn would be at least 2 games clear at the top and gives them a little bit of a cushion kind of moving forward. Doug Berry says, we are favored in every single game moving forward. I'm not sure that's true. It is true. Yes, they now have Auburn as a slight favorite at Tennessee on Saturday, February 26th. Here, I might as well just do a screenshot for this shit right here because I think this is what we've been talking about more. Let me go ahead and pull this over, and we'll do a little. We'll talk about this a little bit. Let me switch back to our box score screen. So this is Auburn's schedule, a lot of it, and then it has what's remaining in the SEC, at least anyway. And you can kind of see what Ken Palm has as the win percentages here. And the closest thing they have is a Auburn loss will be the Tennessee game there on Saturday, February 26th, which is 53% win chance, which, obviously has Auburn favored. But got a little ways to go there. It's probably 10 games out, and Tennessee has been pretty good. Lost notably by about 30 inside Rupp Arena recently, but it happens. It's happened. Auburn's gone to Rupp Arena and gotten their ass beat before. Now on the line, we have one of our Hall of Fame callers. It is D. Lucky. What's up, bro?
What's good, JG?
What's good is lots of good, man. The Auburn Tigers beating that ass.
It was wonderful to see.
Hey, I looked you up the other day as far as your start date at the site, and you're showing as 2001 as many of our seriously old-time guys to have. But what do you think? When did you think you started with us, like for real?
Like 96, 97.
Okay. Like you think it was in the very, very beginning?
Yeah, I was there before the bunker was named. Yeah, it was still a free site. The bunker wasn't premium. I mean, it was very, very early.
Yeah, word. I'm so stoked that you were one of the early guys too, man.
Yeah, there's some folks that are no longer on the site that they're still around. So it's just it's cool to see. And then just time is just taking some folks away from us too. So that part stinks a little bit, but we keep rocking with the folks that are here, man. Just enjoying it while we can.
Ruxy Poo says they had computers in '96, or was it a newsletter by Pony Express?
It was dial-up, Ruxy, and you were probably a very warm sensation in your dad's wedding tackle.
Wow.
But
damn,
whatever.
Okay, well, whatever.
It's all good. Ruxy's all good. I love it.
Of course he is. He's royalty, just like you.
He is.
You are. I know you're fired up about this team, man. I know you're fired up about the future of this team too.
I am. Just the way that the game started, I think was probably more indicative of where I think it's going to go. Al with the first two buckets, with him just being aggressive and just getting to the rack was great. His shot is still not there yet because he has a couple of open shots that just were not great, but him still getting worked in. When he's able to be the slasher that we need and then have the ability to hit a wide open jump shot, which is going to come because of the rest of the balance, we're still not at 100%. So that's beyond encouraging. Jabari only needed 4 shots. We were still only down 4. The biggest concern that we had probably still remains is we don't do really great on entry passes to the post. And that, a lot of the turnovers were those kinds of plays. So just something we can work on, though. We can get better at that. So, not a bad situation to be in.
No, hell no.
And then the other part was, I love Dylan, but we don't need to run a lot of plays where him catching a lob is the end result. And I think we tried that 2, 3, maybe 4 times in the first half. He's got a role, and he has been playing his role really well, and I think he just got asked to do more than, he's really capable of doing to start the game off.
Word.
So, and even with all of that, still pulled it out. Nice, comfortable win.
Hell yeah. Against a former blue blood like Kentucky, right?
Yeah, that probably still blue blood. I don't think they lost their blue blood status. It just so happens we have gained ours.
Yes.
So, there's room in the neighborhood for more than one.
Yeah, well, we don't need too many, but
no, it's an exclusive club. But
damn right.
We saw a nice lot on the corner that was available. Now we're building our shit on top of it.
That's right, man. It's like Park Place, right? We don't give a shit about Boardwalk.
No. Hey, we are where we are. Our house is going to be nicer than yours. Deal with it.
Do you think that I should do a show no matter what time the game is, as long as Auburn's number 1? I feel like I should.
I think so. And I don't even think it has to be long. I think you could do a nice recap show and, maybe take 1 or 2 calls and get in, get out. I think folks would appreciate it.
1 or 2 calls.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nothing, man.
Have you been drinking at all today? Have you been drinking any brown water?
Look, the brown water is secondary. It's only 4:30 Central Time, JD. It's a long day, bro. I gotta ease into the brown water.
Wait, now why is it? I'm in the Central Time Zone and it's 5 o'clock. So why is it 4:30 where you are?
Oh, sorry, I've already lost some time. Shit. See, that's exactly why I hadn't started the brown water. I'm just on beer right now. I've already lost 30 minutes of time.
You're in the Madison Time Zone. I get it.
Yes, we do have a very exclusive time zone here as well.
That's right.
Us in Arizona.
We've been talking about basketball, obviously, but as far as football goes, your thoughts on Derek Mason leaving? If this is maybe, I know that Jeff Schmedding moving up is probably not anybody's idea about a great replacement, but just kind of your thoughts on Derek Mason's year at Auburn.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm never the person to ask for a hot take because I don't see the point in it. We will see. how good or bad it ends up being, but I think, there were lots of people that were complaining about Derek Mason's being a don't break all season long, and they didn't like it, and it was, the antithesis of an Auburn defense, and folks just hated it. And, it seems from everything I've seen from Schmetting's role and, as D coordinator before, he's a little bit more blitz and attack and a little bit more than what folks are used to seeing as an Auburn defense. So if that's the change, the end result, then, let's sit back and see what that gets us. I mean, the rumors about who called what and in what games, it'll prove itself out. So I'm not gonna, have a big overreaction because of it either way. We'll see what happens. We've got some good players. If there's a mass exodus, then okay, then that might be impactful. But if we have the players that decided to stay, continue to stay, and we have the folks that we brought in show up and perform, we'll be fine. We got talent on the defensive side, and guys competent at the job. We'll be okay.
Word. That's all it takes, man.
Nothing like. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great if he was, the best thing since, the creation of the Tampa 2 or, come up with some schematic advantage for Auburn, but we don't have to have that. We just need someone that can come up with a way for us to score more points than the other team. He doesn't have to be phenomenal. So, there's just as much about what the offense can do and how that fits with what he's doing. So, that's all.
I like that. It's a sensible approach, which is what you are. You're a sensible person. You're a sensible human being.
I'll try.
I think it comes easily to you. That's just my opinion.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. So no, even with Brumbaugh, Jay had a great post in there talking about Brumbaugh's kind of skill set and what he brings, and same thing. We'll see what he does in action at Auburn as a coach. I mean, I've just seen enough in just regular business world, whatever, that sometimes people are really good at their jobs and they're just not in a great opportunity. And when you put them in a prime opportunity, they blossom. And, that could be the case with Jimmy, or it could not be the case with Jimmy. But again, I'm not going to make a proclamation about what his success is going to be before he, coached it down.
All right.
At Auburn.
You're being way too reasonable right now, D-Lucky. Dadgummit.
It's just people have these expectations, and they're self-created, self-inflated, and then they get pissy when, their expectations aren't met from someone else who had no idea that was the expectation. So a name gets floated as a possibility. We don't know all the ins and outs as to why that person may or may not be a candidate, but, if they don't come, then it's, oh my God, the sky's falling. It's like, maybe not. Maybe there's more than one of those who's good, and we happen to, go after the best one that we thought was a good fit, and he got a fit. Yeah. So we go to the next one on the list.
Moving on. Yeah.
Happens every day.
Are you going to drink some bourbon tonight?
Absolutely. We had the state allocation thing today, so me and Mr. D-Lucky picked up a couple of bottles of Eagle Rare and Blanton. So
what did you got? Blanton's, and what else did you get?
Eagle Rare.
You son of a gun! I didn't know that.
So, oh yeah. So yeah,
I didn't know it was allocation day.
Yeah, it's been a pretty damn fine day for me today.
Are you going to save that for like a special occasion? I mean, the Eagle Rare is pretty good, right?
I am not, but here's why. I've been very fortunate. So at this very moment, I got 3 bottles of that in the house, and I got 3 bottles of blends. So they will be cracked open and they will be enjoyed.
You could probably sell those for like a hundo, maybe something like that.
Probably, but I can drink them for free. Well, now it's free,
included with the price. Yeah,
included with the purchase. So yeah, I'm not that kind of collector. I'm not a flipper. I bought them to drink them, so I will enjoy them, and maybe 1 or 2 of them will be hearing you make the bourbon trip up to beautiful Madison for dope.
Well, that's going to happen. That's my next. Well, we're gonna do Mobile here, but the next bourbon shindig is going to be a lot closer to you. I'll tell you that. I know that for sure.
Looking forward to it. I'm going to check the schedule, see if Lil B Lucky's got basketball or not. Maybe it's time to ride down to Port City and hang out for a weekend.
So shiz. When do you think that might happen? We'll just talk on text then.
Yeah. I'm going to try to sync it up with when you're going to be down. It might not work, but I'm like I said, if I can make the bourbon events, I'll be there.
All right, bro. Appreciate you calling in, D-Lucky. You're a legend, bro. We love you.
Appreciate it. Same warning I gave everybody last week. Book your hotels. New Orleans is getting booked up quick.
All right, bro. See ya.
All right, see ya.
He's saying book those hotels. I think he was speaking specifically for New Orleans, but also Tampa, because the Auburn Tigers are going to be there certainly in the SEC tournament. And we'll see how that kind of goes. God, it still feels like a long way off, you know. Alfred Dub says, I'm drinking Eagle Rare right now. Let's go. I don't know if that's a lamp or not, but Eagle Rare, of course, delicious. Pour from the our friends at Buffalo Trace. Well, people we wish were our friends. Anyway. Also, I wanted to correct something I said earlier. I was talking about Ruxy Poo being on the show when he called in last time. He was with some of his friends, and I misidentified them. It was Stutsy Poo, Stutzman, excuse me, and then it was also Call Me Biscuit. And I mentioned the wrong names on that. So, I want to give those guys credit for sure. Cleveland Brown says he's booked for NOLA just in case. What a legend. I love it. And also a special shout out to JBDC Elite, who I believe is watching the feed tonight from his cozy home in suburban Washington, D.C., because he was texting me and telling me he liked my background, my new background. It's not even that new anymore, bro. Also, I forgot to turn my light on earlier. I wish you guys would have told me I was like in the dark like this. But I turned my main light on. I forgot that I didn't have it on. What else? Is there anything else oh my goodness, we've got another Hall of Famer calling in right now. One of our all-time favorite posters and callers. It's Power Man. What's up, bro?
What you doing? I'm back from the dead.
Yeah, you haven't called in a minute, but we know you've been out there doing your thing and just being a legend like you are. How you been, bro?
Well, I've been good. I've been battling the COVID this week. So I'm on the mend. I'm on like day 6, I think, day 5 or 6. So I'm on the mend.
Yes. And how close to 100% do you feel right now?
I feel 80 or 90 now. It's when 7 o'clock at night hits and I'm just exhausted.
Oh,
the fatigue is real. So
does bourbon help or hurt?
I don't know. I hadn't had a drink in like 7 or 8 days. So maybe I'll try it tonight.
Oh, okay. I think the Auburn Tigers have. I think they've done enough work today to result in that. Yeah.
Give it a shot.
To yield that, yes. They would love for you to have a shot. Yes.
I'll try it. I'll try it. Man, that was so much fun today. Do you think Ty? What? And I haven't heard the whole show. What do you think? How do you think Ty getting hurt impacted the game?
Oh, I think it did for sure. I think it allowed Wendell to kind of get off a little bit in the second half because Wendell had 0 points in the first half.
Yep.
And I felt like he is tall enough, long enough, and quick enough to cause problems for Wendell. Wendell can't get around everybody, Power Man. I think the very top defenders he can't get away from, and that's a problem.
No, and so I was curious in the first half if Wendell was being exposed a little bit, or if he was just playing out of control, like overhyped. And I think it was. Exposed is the wrong word. But he was having trouble, but he was also playing a little out of control, trying to overcome it, I think.
Yeah, I think that was some of it, but I think Ty is pretty damn good. And there's not many 6'4" point guards with arms that long who are that quick. I mean, to be fair. I mean, it's...
No, that's right.
There's only a few.
Yeah.
But I thought he had Wendell locked up.
Yep. So if you were to compare Sharif to Wendell, to me, we only saw 12 games out of Sharif, but Wendell may not have quite the handle, but he's got maybe 8 times the shot.
that might be fair. Yeah. I mean, I felt like, I felt like Sharif's shot was broken and Wendell's definitely isn't. No.
Right. Yeah. It's come March, you're going to have the guards play. And I think we're in real good shape with them.
Yeah, hell yeah. Auburn's fine with guard.
They're not necessarily the strength of the team, but they are really, really good.
Yeah, I think what happens is when you go against a guy like Ty, it turns Wendell into like a spot-up shooter. Like he can't drive downhill. He can't get downhill. He can't get in front of him.
Right.
So that's what he was kind of doing in the first half, and it changes the offense when your point guard has to be a spot-up shooter. It makes somebody else have to kind of handle the ball. I think Jabari could do it, and he was doing it. In the first half after he got over the turnover problems. But Power Man, we talk, 25 games down the road or 20 games down the road when they're in March Madness, and they're playing against a team like Purdue, who's got really good guards that can kind of get in front of him, they're going to have to change what they do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I was after the Alabama game. I was a little nervous that Kessler, I couldn't really reconcile the LSU game and the Alabama game for Kessler. But now after the last couple games, I think it was just the silly officials calling stupid fouls and got him out of his game, and just talking about in Tuscaloosa, that was clearly an anomaly compared to what from an athletic standpoint, that I worried about. The really good quick guards getting in on Kessler. But I don't think we have to worry about that anymore. I mean, I think that was the officials took him out of his game in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
He's just been a monster.
Something that was interesting today, there was a point where UK had been able to get a switch where it was Severe Wheeler on Walker, one-on-one, and Auburn just kind of let it go. Like, they felt like that was a good enough matchup or he could handle it. And I thought that was really impressive, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know. The Kentucky center is really good, and they would let Kessler just play a man up, and he got the better of him a couple times. But that center is good.
Damn right, he's good. He's very girthy. He's a big dude to displace, And I think Walker had trouble with that, Power Man. Honestly,
no, I do too.
From a defensive perspective,
but there was a time in the second half where they just quit driving. They'd shoot floaters from the free throw line because of Kessler down underneath it. It's just such an advantage to have the rim protector like that.
It's Stockholm syndrome, man. I mean,
yep.
And I saw on CBS that something like 65 or 70% of the balls he swats, they end up getting control of.
I saw that. I saw a stat like that, or
crazy.
at least maybe it was Rafferty saying something about that. But yeah, it is. It's that to create the turnover versus giving them the ball out of bounds is a huge thing.
Huge.
So hey, I love seeing Harsin there, and I love seeing him having fun and smiling and all that, because I just imagine. And I don't know this for a fact, but I just imagine his brain's kind of been in turmoil. So it's living the Auburn experience is what I want to see him doing.
Yeah, he was hanging out with the students too. He was just kind of embedded with the students.
Yeah, so
that's great.
I love seeing it. I love seeing it.
It's fired up about that.
Yep. So,
well, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, brother. Man, I didn't know it had been. I didn't know it had been as bad for you. So
bad is not bad's an over exaggeration. It hadn't been comfortable.
All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. 85%. That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll keep listening to the show. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Power Man. See you, bro.
Bye.
There he is. Power Man, one of our favorite bunker posters, a great caller, great brain drainer. Then this call list today has been insane. Allie D, AU Storm 20, Mike G from the War Report, Auburn alumni, Why Not AU, Ruxy Poo, B Matt, D Lucky, and Power Man. Good God, you guys. That's like a murderer's row of callers right there. It's unbelievable. Spicy P providing some updates on some games that are going on right now. That Missouri is up 17-7 on Alabama. And LSU, at least when he posted this a few minutes ago, LSU was down 11-0 against the hated Tennessee Volunteers. I don't like Tennessee very much. I don't like LSU either because I think their coach is a cheater and he needs to atone or needs to be judged for the things that he has done wrong. We got another Hall of Famer calling in. Stu Pup in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, Jay? How you doing, man?
Great. Now that we have you on the line, bro. How you been, Stu Pup?
I'm good, man. Real good.
So you had gotten some snow recently, right?
It snowed a little bit. It didn't stick. I just kind of put the new house flex on Facebook a little bit.
Oh, were you flossing the new house? Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah, that's what it was. It snowed pretty, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Man, just enjoyed that one today. Man, I tell you what, the difference between the team last year and this year is, to me, the biggest difference obviously is defense from the guards is not a suggestion. It is a fact. And those guards drive the ball to a much better rim protector than what we had last year. And, love Sharif. He was fun to watch. But Zep and Wynn, they just get after it up front. And then they force the ball where it needs to be forced. A majority of the time. I mean, they get beat like anybody else. But then they're forcing it to Walker Kessler, which is, and again, no disrespect to Stretch or Caldwell, but you're forcing it to the most elite rim protector in college basketball. And that defense is ridiculous. And I think that is your biggest difference from last year to this year. So, I mean, I just love watching that.
Hell yeah, of course you do. One of the great facets of this team, honestly. And there's so many.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. That's the reason this is going to be a number one team come Monday, Stoop Up. They got a lot of great shit going on, you know.
They are. They do. It's great. And it's so much fun. I think that is what people – I just love seeing like Allie, and I've followed that on Twitter a little bit, and seeing the Pearlville. I like Port St. Brucey, is what Jeff Shearer said.
What did he call it? What did he call it?
He called it Port St. Brucey.
Port St. Brucey. I like it. Yeah.
Port St. Brucey.
Yeah, that's good.
So I like that one, but I'm glad, that sort of thing. I just like to see people having fun with sports. And the last couple of years at Auburn, it hasn't been as much fun. And I'm glad I think that's what makes me happiest about this team. The team's having fun. The fans are having fun. It's a great release. And I hope people really enjoy this for what it is and not like a substitute to something that just not because football team hasn't been successful the last couple of years. Let's cling to something else. This is fun. This is rare. Man, we really need to enjoy this as a fan base and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. I think people on this show, at least, I mean, the 300 or 400 people that have been on our show, I think they appreciate for what it is. Because, I mean, we've been there, man. Stu, I know you followed basketball when they were shitty, and you wished that they would be good someday, and here we are, You paid your dues.
Look, I watched basketball at Auburn. I watched Auburn basketball when it was a good idea to throw a post pass to Rob Chubb. Like, I deserve this. We deserve this. If you remember that day, or when Frank Tolbert is playing power forward against Alabama. I mean, I paid to go to a game where Frank Tolbert is playing power forward. I mean,
six fingers.
No offense to him, he's a good ball. Yeah, 6 feet. Yeah, I mean, a 6'4" power forward, and we won. That particular game. But this is fun. I have had a unique vision to it because, like, I live up here around. There was something said about when Bruce first got it rocking at Tennessee, and there was a line in a magazine article. They said if Bruce told the student body of Tennessee Knoxville to go invade Chattanooga, there would be a caravan down I-75. And I didn't know that he could get that here, but it's here now. And it is exactly what I remembered a few years ago in Knoxville. It's better than what it was in Knoxville then. And it was fun. It was fun for a week. Like, I kind of lived vicariously through it for a couple of years there. It was just fun. And he's built something I think can be sustained. And, it's just exciting. Really exciting.
It's fun, man. This team, I mean, they're going to be number one Monday, bro. I mean, that's crazy.
Number one. Auburn basketball is number one in the AP poll. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Like, weird things are afoot, man. But just enjoy it. I mean, it's just great.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
This is fun.
And the drain is fantastic always, man. Thank you. Enjoy it. I'll get off here. I didn't want to keep you too long. But War Eagle, everybody, thoughts and prayers to Christy and everybody. I know it sounds like more than one person's been battling the COVID. Thoughts and prayers out to everybody in the bunker struggling with it. And we'll talk to you later, Jay.
All right, Stoop Up. Appreciate you, brother.
See you, buddy.
See you, man. There he is, Stoop Up, legend. You guys know that, up in North Alabama. Just doing his thing. Nacho Ombre jumps in with a super chat. Here's to a drain after every game at number one. We'll go ahead and applaud that because I think we got to do that. And we may need to do a show when they go number one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I think I undersold it. You guys got to remember something. So, I mean, I grew up as a Louisville fan, and they were number one, and they won a national title in '86, which you guys weren't even born back then, but, like, I was, and my parents watched that, and we watched it, and it was a big deal. And then I went to UK and started following them, and I covered them, and they went to 3 national title games in a row, won 2 of them, and I was like, guys, seriously, I mean, Auburn shouldn't be worrying about being number one. Everybody's number one, but the truth is that it is a big deal, and we ought to, regardless of what happens, we need to respect the fact that number one is a big deal the first time. DFY jumps in with a super chat as well. Says Will Wade is a great man. But he's just kidding. JK. We got a JK on that. Just kidding. Just kidding. The guy with the strong ass offers. Yeah. Appreciate the support, Nacho. And DFY, of course, all of our super chatters. We love all of you guys. Mobile Alum has been crazy tonight. Let's see. Warwick has been crazy tonight. Why Not AU? So many of you guys. Thank you so much for that support, yo. And, of course, our callers have been insane. It's been a murderer's row tonight. Let's see. AU Texman says UK averages 21 threes per game. Is that right? 21 threes attempted and only attempted 12 today. Great D by AU. Also, speaking of that, Auburn's 2-point percentage was fucking insane tonight. Let me get it. I have it up on the game wrap. Not able to access that right now, but the Auburn Tigers shot, according to Ken Palm, 19 of 28, which I have up on the game wrap. 68% from two, you guys. That's their highest figure of the year. And that is buoyed largely by Walker Kessler going 8 of 10 from two. Unfortunately, no 3-point shots tonight from him. The Auburn Tigers were 6 of 16 from three, 37.5%, which is it's solid. That's a solid number, I would say, in a general sense. And again, when we were talking about it on one of the calls, I think it was the one before Stu Pup, but we were talking about, it was Power Man. When you've got an elite long defender the way that Ty Washington is for Kentucky, I think it took Wendell out of his game, so to speak, as the attacking downhill point guard. And I didn't think he had the quickness to get around Ty. He became more of a spot-up shooter, and that means that somebody else has to be kind of the instigator. And Auburn was kind of feeling its way around with that a little bit. I thought Jabari could do some of that. I do think Zepp is much quicker side to side, so he can be that guy that kind of takes the ball up and kind of gets the offense set. We forget about Zepp a lot because he doesn't score a lot. He's a great defender. He's also very quick, and he's generally a very, very conscientious ball handler. If you guys remember early in the season, he went like 6 or 7 games in a row where he didn't have a single turnover. He had that whole streak. It got broken a few games ago, but he's definitely never a guy that's going to give you a lot of turnovers. And maybe they have to switch to that a little bit and turn. Typically, it's Wendell Green is the 1 and Zepp is the 2. Maybe you have to switch that up sometimes when you're playing certain teams that have the elite. I'm talking about the very, very top perimeter defenders who are long and quick, like Ty Washington. There are teams out there that have players like that. Gonzaga does. Baylor does. Ivy from Purdue, I feel like, is that way. So it's not going to matter tomorrow or next week or next month. But when you get into the NCAA tournament, and we all know what's coming, I mean, Auburn's going to be a major factor in that tournament. At that point, you've got to start worrying a little bit about some of these, not necessarily worrying, but preparing for contingencies when you're going against a 6'4" point guard with long arms like that. They are out there. There's not a lot of them, but they are out there. And Auburn Tigers, I will mention, BP was trying to get Ty Washington on campus. He felt like if he got him down here, he'd be able to get him enthused enough about Auburn to sign him. Ultimately, Ty ended up not visiting and ended up going to Kentucky. But that's somebody that Bruce Pearl identified as a major stud at point guard, and he would have liked to have had him. Mobile Alum 91 jumping in again. I think this is your 6th Super Chat tonight. Unbelievable support. Will Kessler be back next year? Give shout out to Miss Administrative Assistant. She's not here at the moment, but I will. Hey, shout out, Courtney. I'll let her know. That's her right there, actually, where my thumb is. That was her. Yeah, that's her picture from her senior year in high school. She's a cutie. Well, she's a cutie now, but she was a cutie then, too. Yeah, shout out for her for sure. Hope to see her next weekend. So Mobile Alum's jumping on that. We are definitely not going to be able to get Mike G down for that, but we would love to see if we get maybe one other bunk, whether that be Brian or Stoltze or Matthews and Jay Head and some of our other friends. All right, Blake R says, all right, JGT, Brain Train, and Bunker family, I'm going to get out of here and go eat some dinner with my family. Ward Amigo, love everybody. Appreciate you, Blake. We'll give you an applause for that for sure. I know you super chatted us earlier. It might have been during a call. We appreciate that for sure. AU Taxman says, just so we need Stoltze with something to boast about. D Lucky says Al Flanagan, of course, number 22, can penetrate and dish to help as well. Yeah, he has some experience with that, doesn't he? Last year, he got pushed into some of that point guard work when Sharif was either hurt or out, and then Justin Powell was out as well. John Carolina says, Stoltze getting his revenge, Bengals up 10. This is bullshit. What is going on? Have the referees screwed the Titans? What's going on here? This is absolutely outrageous. I demand an answer. All right. I feel like we've done what we need to do here. 2 hours and 25 minutes on a basketball brain drain. Are you serious? Daniel P says, has anyone mentioned how good Cambridge was on defense during his shifts today? Oh, yeah, he was good. And I think maybe I feel like he's turned a corner a little bit. Where they kind of got Dylan into this kind of thing where it's like, okay, man, you're going to work on defense and enthusiasm are your thing, so do that. And he's doing that. I think Devin, they're kind of like, hey, man, why don't you be a big defensive stopper and a guy who just kind of gets out in transition? And he's kind of been like, word, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. D Lucky said, no, I'm sorry. Abe Texman said, just what we need, Stoltze. God dang it. Yvonne is out. She says, good night, everyone. Got to cook some dinner. We love Yvonne. By the way, Yvonne's hair looks incredible. Have you guys seen her hair? I mean, she has really nice hair in general, but it looks really, really good here lately. She's got that shorter cut now. And she's also letting the gray go. Like, not go, but I mean, she's conscientiously allowing it to be gray, and I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. I wish my wife would do that, but she won't. But I'm not going to get into that. Goose Flat says, JGT, in your opinion, what makes this team different from the 18 and 19 Final Four team? Great question. So let's take a look real quick at. You got to remind me some of the peripheral players in that 19 team. You got Jared Harper, who's quicker and better than Wendell, who is not quicker and. He's not quicker than Zepp, but he's a much better shooter than Zepp. Ended up shooting 37% from three, 83% free throw shooter. Yeah, Jared's really good. Austin Wiley was kind of a dude there, but Walker's a lot better than Wiley. Bryce Brown was a sharp shooter from three, 41% three-point shooter. Auburn's only got one dude above 40%, and it's Jabari. So if Auburn had that sharp shooting two, that would be a big plus. Chuma Okeke, power forward, 6'8", not quite Jalen. Why do I keep saying Jalen? Jabari, 38.8% three-point shooter. Jabari is better. 57.4% shooter from two, which is about on par with Jabari. 72% from the line. I think Jabari is just a shade better than that. Chuma is a reasonably fair facsimile to Jabari. Ant McLemore at that point in his career was kind of a peripheral guy. Malik is kind of like Devin Cambridge. Horace is kind of like Dylan. Javon at that point was the backup point guard. 52% three-point shooter, guys. You remember those days? 10 of 19 only, though. And Samir was just kind of a up-and-coming guy at that point. I absolutely love Samir. I was fanatical about him, particularly when he had a chance to be the number one guy the next year. Okay, so they love to say that guard play is what carries you in March. And the 19 team, guard play was the strength of that team, right? I mean, Chuma was a great player, don't get me wrong, but Jared and Bryce were the problem. I mean, when you are defending that team, you're worried about Jared and Bryce. With this team, you're not necessarily worried straight up about Wendell and Zepp. You're definitely not worried about Zepp. You're more worried about Jabari. You're more worried about KD, and you're worried about Kessler. And I feel like guard play is probably not quite the strength of this team, because tonight we saw Ty kind of get the better of Wendell, and I think Zepp's good. He's more of a defender, more of a ball handler. So it's different strengths and weaknesses. I guess here's my thing. At this point, I don't necessarily think that this team is quite as ready for the March Madness as the 19 team was, because the guard play was better in 19. However, Wendell is significantly better right now than he was when I saw him in the summer. I had major concerns about him as being a full-time point guard then. I don't necessarily have them now. I think he's gotten a lot better. I think Kessler has gotten a lot better. Just being assertive on the scoring end. Man, in the summertime, he was just tentative as can be. I feel like this team is growing more than the 19 team did. And so 10 games from now, I think it will be better to kind of assess them than the 19 team was. I feel like the 19 team was kind of going through the season and you knew what you got. This team is changing. This team is improving more than the 19 team did. So let's just see. Let's see if Wendell figures out a way to kind of get away from the best perimeter defenders. I'm trying to look and see which teams could give them a lot of trouble. Oklahoma's a team I've only watched once this year. I'm trying to see their best players. Their point guard is a 6'3" guy, and their shooting guard is a 6'1" guy. I don't really know as much about them, honestly. Alabama's got good guard play, but they didn't really mess up Wendell too much in the first game. Georgia sucks ass. Arkansas, maybe. Number 1 for Arkansas is a good player. Number 4 for Arkansas is a good player. So I just don't know. You know, without Kentucky being on the lineup from here on out, I just wonder, when are they going to see an absolutely stud point guard that can shut him down? I don't know. These are good questions. Also, Mobile Lem says, will Kessler be here next year? My guess is that he does not come back. My guess is that he gets a grade of being a late first-round pick and that he goes with it. Would be my guess. We don't know that for sure. Stu Pup jumps in with a super chat. He called in earlier. What a stud. Walker Kessler dunks on a real goal better than I do when I dunk on my kids' heads and their little tykes goal. I'm glad to hear you're dunking on kids, Stu Pup. It was fun. I've dunked on my daughter before. Do I think they have a higher ceiling? Riley M does. Yes, I do. I think they have a higher ceiling. I really, really do. To me, it's going to come down to, as we mentioned, I mean, can Wendell get away from the top point guards? Can he get into the lane against the top defensive point guards around? We're going to know more about that in 10 games. Because the SEC is going to find ways to try to scheme him specifically, and we'll see if he can overcome that. But if you believe in the old idiom that guard play gets you to the national title, then I don't think Auburn quite has it. I don't. But they have gotten a lot better. I think Wendell, when I saw him in the summer, me and Christian were fighting about it. He was like, yo, man, I think Wendell's going to be the number 1 guy. And I was like, I don't know. I think Zepp is a more reliable guy. I don't necessarily think that now because Wendell's made a lot of progress. As he should. He's only a sophomore. I mean, let's give him some time. Zepp, on the other hand, is a graduate, and he is what he is. He's a good defender, a good ball handler. That's kind of what you're looking for from him. Daniel P. says, my insight, this team is at least the 9th best squad in the country. Shout out to Mr. Newell, who voted Auburn. That. Let's see. Yulia Grozdova. Yulia Grozdova says, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Verfi. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Seriously. I mean, these shows, if they go 2 hours, I feel like we've done our job, and we are now 2.5 hours into it, so we've done what we've done what we came here to do. We'll put it that way. I want to give a shout-out to all of our callers. What a legendary Murderers Row this was today. We had Allie D to start things off. Excuse me. AU Storm 20, Mike G, Auburn alumni, Why Not AU, who, by the way, is hosting a party on the 1st of February for the Alabama game at the Auburn Draft House. It's going to be awesome. Ruxy Poo, B-Matt, D-Lucky, Powerman, and Stu Pup. Unbelievable. Stu Pup says Auburn is number 1 in the Stu Pup Power Poll. Out now. That's pretty big right there. Guys, as we wrap up the show, I do want to remind you guys, we talked about this earlier in the show, but if you are inclined to do so, please, I would ask you to include Christy Malzahn and the Malzahn family in your prayers. She's still in the hospital. She's still fighting, guys. I mean, it seemed like things looked bad in the beginning, and then I got a report that things were looking better, and I feel like the report I got today was that things are not quite as good as they had hoped. So let's just pray for her. If you guys are into that, if you're not, that's cool. Thoughts and prayers, whatever you guys want to do. We will be praying for her. I love Christy. She's one of the great ones. And whether you like Gus or you don't, or you're mad at him about fucking up recruiting or whatever, look, man, he's a good dude. I promise you he's a good dude. I'll stand behind him all day long as a person. And Christy's great too. So I just ask you guys for that. Anyway, guys, we'll wrap this up. Let's see. Spicy P says you need to attend some of these games. JG's special team. It's kind of a new era. Spicy P, if I attend the game, I can't do this. And that would be terrible. D Lucky says, enjoy the night, peeps. Ward M. Eagle, prayer to the Malzahns. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. They need all the prayers they can get, guys. All right, wrap it up there. Auburn Tigers again, victorious over the hated UK Wildcats. Big win, huge win. Going to be number 1 on Monday. Moving into the Missouri game and then Oklahoma next weekend. We will do shows because they're number 1 now from here on out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And as always, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the stars. Make good decisions out there tonight, guys. And by the way, Allie's looking for somebody who's cute, nice, Auburn graduate, gives a shit about Auburn. I mean, if that sounds like you, maybe you want to hit her up on the Twitter. All right, guys. Until then, be good. Peace. Love you guys. Deuces.